This is a KUGR sports production.
Good pass down low to Airstrip, and he scores off the glass.
Giving you play-by-play coverage of all your favorite WSU athletics.
He doesn't get it! He stopped at the line!
Football, basketball, baseball, hockey, and more.
Absolutely electrifying play from Washington State to get him right back in this game.
Follow us on YouTube at KUGR Sports to listen to every game live.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding me?
Never miss a moment with the best in the West. KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse.
Gets the Cougs on the board with less than 20 seconds remaining in this first period. Here come the Cougs.
And now, back to the game.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
One game away from a championship. The California Golden Bears, the 1 seed. All they need is an opponent now, and it's to come down between the Washington Huskies and the Western Washington Vikings. The 2 and 3 seed doesn't get much more competitive than this. Welcome back to KUGR Hockey. I'm Connor Simmons, joined with Zach McFarlane here in the booth. Zach, it's the 2 and 3 seed. We already saw an incredible game today in the Final Four. What are we expecting for tonight's game between the Vikings and the Huskies?
Well, when you look back, they've played each other 4 times this season. When you look back the first 3 times, UW has had their way. It was 3-0 before their last meeting, outscoring them 21-3. But of course, the very last time they met, January 31st, right at the end of the month, Western finds a way, beats them in a shootout 5-4. So maybe that was a fluke, or maybe Western has figured them out. Maybe they know how to keep up with them, how to play with them there. Nolan Morena has had an off weekend, honestly. Yesterday he had a bit of an off game. He didn't seem like that superhero that he's been most of the season, and I think he's going to be a key factor against this Washington team and that high-powered offense. But a championship pedigree, veteran coaching on UW's side, and a whole new bunch of new faces here for Western. They haven't quite been here before. It should be interesting, but I think Washington definitely has the edge coming in here.
Well, it's hard to understate with about 1 minute and 30 seconds until they all come out for the national anthem. It's hard to underestimate Western Washington. Obviously, they are the 3 seed, technically the worst seed in the situation, but man, that offense is high-powered. You got Andrew Fan, who's the first place in the whole entire Pac-8 with 67 points. And then you also have the James brothers. You got Kyle Salette. You got a whole Tyler Chapman. You got guys that just know how to get goals. On the other end, it's more just like you said, a well-coached team. They're built pretty well. They love each other. The chemistry is just going through the roof right now, especially for the Huskies. There's a whole bunch of Husky fans here tonight here in Cheney, Washington. It should be for an exciting matchup. Where do you think the game's going to lie? Like, what are some of the keys of the game where you think one team will take it away and that's how they'll win this game?
I think penalties is a big thing, of course. You can't keep giving UW the opportunity, the man advantage on the power play. So I think as long as Western kind of stay out of the box, stay clean, maybe get under the skin of UW a little bit, cause them to get some penalties. But like I said earlier, Nolan Morena is going to be a big piece of this. If he can step up and have a huge game, he can give Western a pretty good shot at this. But of course, on the other end and the other crease, Jonah Nash, he's been incredible. Best save percentage in the pack this season. But also, again, you have, has he been tested? Has he truly been tested other than, just a few games, maybe against Cal and such like that? But it's interesting to see, and on paper, every team that has been favored to win wins. That is how this tournament has gone this weekend, and in that case, it would be Washington taking it. But of course, it should be interesting. It should be a good one, and one of these teams will go and play Cal for it all tomorrow.
Well, here comes Western Washington out right now with a little cream color with the black, gray, and blue stripes. And on the other end, you have the all-black jerseys, Huskies, with white and purple stripes. Pretty cool jerseys, if you ask me, Zach. But again, to talk about the first game we had this morning, it was the number 1 seed the Golden Bears, that came out on top. Just an incredible performance, but almost one of the biggest upsets you'll ever see. USC only lost 6-5. Incredible performance by them. This should be an even better game to comparing the 2 seeds. We'll be back with you guys right after the national anthem. Stay tuned. I'm Connor Simmons, joined by Zach McFarlane. This is the Pac-8 playoffs on KUGR. Okay, puck drop is about to get underway for game number 2 of the Final Four. Western Washington Vikings face off against the University of Washington Huskies. Should be an exciting matchup. Like we said, the goaltender matchup's going to be Jonah Nash of the Huskies face off against Nolan Morena of the Vikings. Those two guys have to perform today, Zach, but this should be both teams are very highly offensive. There's not like this, there's defense here and there, but both these teams are built off their offense. And do you think there's going to be a lot of goals this game?
I think there will be. I think earlier we didn't expect much, at least not from us. We kind of mentioned it was a great game. It wasn't really supposed to be, but it ended up being so. And I think it could be a high-scoring game for Washington for sure. Nolan Morena will need to lock in. To beat Jonah Nash, we will see. Can he truly be tested? I think it could go either way, but I'm going to say yes, it will be a lot of scoring.
Well, Andrew Fan's facing off. He loses the face-off. Huskies will start this game with puck possession. Make sure to grab some popcorn. This game is going to be good. Vikings looking to check up, sending it all the way back down. Nobody is found there for his man. Again, back and forth. Huskies bring it in now. It's going to be the man number 44 behind the net of Morena. Slammed around, trying to get out to his man. Maybe defenseman Kanapika. Going back and forth, down low, 2v2, 2 Vikings versus 2 Huskies. Vikings end up winning this one. It's going to be kicked out all the way to Kyler Sellette. And Kanapika is going to be able to get the rebound, send it to his man, Duncan Needham, who's a big guy. Talk about playoff hockey. That is playoff hockey man right there. Cleared all the way back to Jonah Nash. 19 minutes left in this first period. 0-0 hockey game. No shots left for either of these teams. Cleared in. It's going to be Lampkin, who's had an amazing year so far for these Huskies. It clears all the way to Morena, who just holds it down, stares those defenders down, and says, let me keep it calm, cool, and collected.
Yeah, Duncan Needham is definitely a big dude, 6'2" and 195, and he just plays even bigger out there on the ice.
Lampman on the near face-off circle wins it, kicks all the way out to Morena. Once again, he slows it down. Lampman takes a little fall, a little tumble. Ice is slippery, as a lot of people like to say. On his right, it's going to be Wolf. And on his right defenseman, it's going to be Morris. A little deja vu happening once again. The refs might call a guy out. They've been doing it all day. Faceoff was won by the Huskies. Andrew Fan makes a guy miss. Almost gets it to go. Covered up by Williams right there in the corner. Andrew Fan's getting pushed off the puck by Lampman. 2 of the best players in the Pac-8 conference right there. And a battle on the boards ends up with the Vikings winning. It's going to be cleared all the way down. Brett Brumba with a shot into the chest of Jonah Nash, and he's going to calm this game down. 18 minutes, 43 seconds left in this first period. Technically, that was the first shot of the game.
Yeah, not too much one way or the other so far. When we look at how Washington played, though, yesterday, they were really off. We expected them to kind of blow out UCSD, and they didn't. They were off to a slow start. It was close for a while. They couldn't quite figure out the netminder. They finally got on the board and slowly kind of won from there. It was a 4-1 game, really not much. So it was different. They were sloppy. They couldn't connect passes. It wasn't the Washington we were normally going to see, and it should be interesting to see if they start connecting a little bit more today. They're going to need to. Western is tough.
No doubt about it. On the near face-off circle, it is won by the Huskies because of a weak Patrick Pearson shot. Jonah Nash was able to recover, bring it in and moving. Going all by himself is going to be the Huskies. I believe that's going to be a shot on net. Gets leveled out. Taking a hit, but gets up like a man. They're going to call a penalty. Man, oh man. That was number 34, Declan Quinn, who just he did not go for the puck. He went for the man.
Wow. What a hit that was. He's going to go, it looks like maybe for roughing.
Yeah.
Wow, incredible. So he'll go, and that'll be a penalty and a power play for Washington early on. Like I mentioned, stay out of the box. And although, yes, that's a great hit, but you're going to go all day long on that one for sure.
Well, that all happened because Logan Maloney drove towards the net. Kicked out to Lampkin at the point. Lampkin serving, seeing if he has somebody out in front. One-timer, nothing found there. Good save by Morena. Lampkin gets the rebound, sends it back to Wolf now at the blue line. All the way around the boards, looking for a man. Back out, no, tipped away. Good job right there, off the boards once again, and it is finally cleared down. Jonah Nash is going to grab the puck behind his own net. 1 minute and 30 seconds left on the Declan Quinn power play. 17 minutes and 50 seconds left here in this first period. No goals yet for either team. 2 goose eggs clearing it back down in the zone, behind the net of Morena. The Vikings are able to recover this one, and it's cleared. No, keeping it in is Lampman. Lampman doing a good job there, and it's cleared back. Is that the man, Andrew Fan? Man, the legend, 67 points, looks to make a move. Stolen away. Good job right there by Wolf. Bringing it back in, it's going to be Chapman. No, it's Lampkin. My apologies. Lampman going behind the net of Morena. Battling against a Viking. Takes a tumble. They both fall to the ground. Where's the puck? We don't know. It's able to clear it out. Logan Maloney kicks it to his man. All the way down to Williams at the point, who rips one on net. Gets saved by Moreno, who kicks it up to himself and gloves it down.
Yeah, Moreno already looks pretty good. He looks locked in. He looks dialed. He looks calm in the crease, and they're going to need him to be that way tonight. And especially if you're going to take penalties really early on, like Declan Quinn did for his team.
On the near face-off circle, it is won by the Huskies. Williams at the point, looks to go survey middle, shot on net. Moreno doesn't know where it is, bounces behind him. All the way up to number 5. Clearing it all the way to his man, just a little bit out of reach to one of the James brothers. That's going to be Jacob James, number 92. Bringing it back into the zone. Huskies, here comes Williams, number 8. He rips one on a quick little wrist shot. Made it go down, but a smart, but I think he reacted too fast. I believe Brett Brumba just high-sticked it because it was just instinct. It was reaction, kind of just happened. So keeping it down here in Viking zone. 28 seconds left on the power play. 16 minutes, 48 seconds left in this first period. Still 0-0. Number 28, Pearson's going to be on the face-off. Face-off's won by the Huskies once again. I believe they're 4 for 5. Looking to rip one on net. Doesn't even get to his man. Morena staying strong as of right now. Number 34 of the Huskies passing it around. Cameron Irwin getting his first little bit of action today. He's going to get it at the blue line now. Irwin rips one on net. Steered away by Morena. Another ripped one net. Cleared away. There was an empty net, but it's cleared down. Good job right there. That was number 6. My, oh my.
Unbelievable. That puck was sitting in the blue paint right near the goal line. Uh-oh.
Here's a steal. Almost gets it past Jonah Nash. Almost a shorthander. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Irwin won the fastest skater competition using his wheels right now. Tries to make a guy miss. Stolen away. Vikings trying to get it out. No, at the point. Cameron Irwin all by himself. Now rips it. Shoots. Saved by Morena.
What?
Man, oh man.
What would Kate Turney say about that shot, Connor?
I think she would say, don't aim at his chest.
Don't do it. You're never going to score. You're never going to put a hole in somebody's chest or someone's stomach with the puck. You're going to save it all day long, and he did right there. Too easy for a guy like Nolan Moreno.
Logan Maloney loses the faceoff. It's going to clear all the way down. Number 22, Kyler Sillett, clear down to the man. Number 3, Drew Hessner, who loses the puck for the Vikings. A puck dribbles its way to Jonah Nash, and he just slows the game down. Finally, some time to regroup if you're the Vikings, as we're back to 5-on-5 hockey with 15 minutes, 47 seconds left in this first period, 0-0. But the Huskies, despite not scoring on the power play, had a good amount of opportunities. They got 7 shots so far in this game, Zach.
Yeah, the Washington Huskies have really been hemming the Vikings into their own zone. They have had really all the scoring chances that have been happening in this game. The Vikings have a few shots on net, but really nothing of it. Just kind of throwing pucks toward the goal, and easy for Jonah Nash.
On the far face-off circle in Husky zone. Face-off won by the Vikings. Cleared out to the blue line. Whiffs on the first shot. Doesn't go anywhere on the second shot either. Brumba keeping it in. Another shot from the point. And an easy save for Jonah Nash. A lot of these shots are hitting the chest of these goalies right now, so they'll take this as of right now, either team.
Just get pucks on net for now. Kind of feel out everyone here. Looks like there's some talk about Western's bench over here with the officials. But yes, it's all just about getting a feel. And I think that's kind of what these two teams are doing right now, getting a feel, trying to see where this game's going to go. And I expect this one to be a very physical and aggressive game. Both teams have that identity.
Face-off is tied up. Sends down towards the Husky way. Keeping it in the zone is Aaron James, second on the team in points, right behind Andrew Fan. Brumba looks to pass it to his D-man. No, but Aaron James is able to smack it and keep it in the zone. Andrew Fan now battling, trying to find it. Duncan Needham clears it away. There's going to be a penalty. Wow, there's going to be a penalty.
It looks like interference here. I personally did not see what the official saw, but it looks to be Jake Ferguson who's going to go to the box for the Huskies, and now Western will get their first look at a special teams and power play here for them.
Wow. Very surprising. Again, didn't see it there. It must have been against Andrew Fan, because as soon as he let go of that puck, they called it dead. But now the Western Washington Vikings, who are a high-powered offense, go on the power play for the first time in this game. Faceoff was tied up. Who has the puck? We don't know. Huskies are able to clear it out of the zone. Nope. Yep, they have to regroup. 10 seconds have flown off this power play already. Cleared all the way down. Finds it to his man, Seekard, behind the net of his own goalie. Brett Brumba looks to dribble this puck up to ice. Sends it all the way to Seekard. Once again, a little out of reach. And now the Vikings have to regroup. Once again, Morena grabs it for his team. 1:30 left on this power play. Gives it to his guy, Aaron James. Aaron James has done a lot for this team so far. Andrew Fan bringing it up, sends it into the zone behind the net of Jonah Nash. Trying to get to his man, Seekard tries to send it down low. We might have a one-timer, Brett Brumba, and they score! The first power play of the day for the Vikings, and they come out in front and score. We got a 1-0 hockey game with 14 minutes, 35 seconds left in this first period. Vikings up.
And that is absolutely enormous for the Vikings to get on the board first, especially cashing in on a power play, making the Huskies pay for a penalty. Jake Ferguson's interference is going to come back to haunt him a little bit there. And Jonah Nash, try and get him off his game and off his confidence a little bit early on, and that's a great way to do it right there, just over 5 minutes in.
They did an amazing job of setting up and passing the puck around. Not a lot you can do as Jonah Nash right there. Is just a great one-time shot. I believe Jonah Nash even touched it, so it slowed down a little bit. And then there was a little reaction of obviously of it going into the net as he lifted his head up in despair. Now trying to get right back in blood is the Huskies. We're going to have a 2v2 coming up right here. Jacob James brings it up. Sending into the zone is number 22. Jacob James is the man to touch up. 14 minutes left in this first period. About a minute ago, there was a goal in this game. The Vikings now out in front, 1-0. Cleared all the way down, should be icing. And the icing is going to be called. Do you think the Huskies are coming out a little sluggish, or do you think the Vikings are coming out just a little bit stronger?
I think we're seeing kind of what we saw yesterday a little bit. We've seen the chances, and we've seen things that are there, but they're just not cashing in. It's very uncharacteristic of them, and I think a little bit of that has come into today. Yes, they are better, but again, they're just not capitalizing, and that's just very unlike them, and Western's clearly taking advantage of it. They've had really one scoring chance, and they were 1 for 1.
Cameron Irwin's able to retrieve the puck, trying to get to his man Lampman. Now, at this point, it's me, him, and Wolf battling back and forth. Lampman trying to go against two guys. It slammed on the ice right there. Lampman a little slow to get up. All the way to Williams at the point. Rips it on net. Doesn't even get there. Good stick right. Secord doing his best of not letting Morena get a lot of action. And I mean, Zach, yes, they scored first, but we can even say USC scored first in the last game. So does it matter too much?
No, it does not, and obviously you see Secord there kind of getting in the face of Nash, and that's what I was talking about. This identity of Western, very physical, very aggressive, but they're trying to get under your skin, and right there, just that little snow of Jonah Nash after the play, that's what they're doing, and Declan Quinn is out here running around like a freight train, laying the body on everybody, and I don't think UW is really used to that. So if you can get them off their game, they're more of a speedy, very chemistry-built team. If you can get them off that, then you're in.
Brett Brumba on the near face-off circle. Andrew Fan on his left. Sayway on his left defense. Ref is talking to Andrew Fan, and I believe it's Derek Wolf. No, it's not Derek Wolf. Almost shot on net, gets past Jonah Nash once again. Sayway keeping it in the zone, but just a bad pass at that point, so the Vikings have to regroup. A bank pass to no man's land. Kanapika is going to look for a guy at center ice. Tips its way to Aaron James. Aaron James going 1-on-4. Dips it to his man, Andrew Fan. Andrew Fan makes the guys miss. He takes a hit right there. Could have been way worse, though. Swung around the boards to Brett Brumba. Brumba just loses control of the puck. Huskies looking to clear, keeping it in the zone, and they do it. Sayway, slap shot from the point into the chest of Jonah Nash. 12 minutes and 48 seconds left in this first period. Vikings up 1-0, and now the Vikings are leading in the shot category 8-7.
Yeah, they've taken over, and Andrew Fan, although he took a big hit, never went down, and that's because he stands at a mere 6 feet, 200 pounds, but he knows he's played in the WHL. He knows what to expect, and it is hard to genuinely rock that man. He's sturdy.
Well, Jacob James now trying to find Chapman and Slye behind the net. Slye gets it poke-checked away from him. Huskies got to get something going now. Bringing it up. It's going to be number 22. All by himself was Patterson. Behind the net now. Gets it to his man, 19. Behind the net, Moreno. Patterson, 2v2. 2 Vikings versus 2 Huskies. Sooner or later, this puck should free up, and it is freed up, and Tyler Chapman's going to try and get it out for the Vikings. Good job by him. Tyler Slye now bringing in, backhands it into the zone, and subs are going to be made. 12 minutes left in this first period. Western doing a good job of not letting the Huskies get set up on the offensive zone outside of that 1 power play, but they got 4 shots. So taking away that power play, they only have 3 in the whole entire game. Cleared back in the zone is Pearson. Jonah Nash out of his netting crease right there. Could have been way worse. The Huskies able to regroup now. Taking across center ice, Logan Maloney. Maloney with the guy on his right. It's going to be McConnell. Drops off to McConnell. McConnell rips one on net. Moreno grabs it off the rebound. That was kind of cool. Almost takes a tumble.
Well, an acrobatic stop from Moreno. He stopped the first one, an active bounce off the back wall, and he's able to glove it, kind of almost having to bend over backwards there over the cage, but he's able to make the stop, and you bet he's going to stop everything with any means necessary to try and get Western to their first ever Pac-8 championship appearance.
And they had the best recruiting class in the whole Pac-8. Williams now looking point, tries to get a big tipper, doesn't even get there. Steered down by Secret, who's done a lot so far defensively on this game. Might have a 2v1 if Secret can beat him out. Secret gets slammed against the boards. It's cleared all the way to Declan Quinn, though. Or my apologies. Number 34 of the Huskies. Declan Quinn is 34 of the Vikings. Puck is cleared into the Vikings bench. 11 minutes and 20 seconds left in this first period. 1-0, Vikings out in front with a Brett Brumba one-time goal.
The Huskies haven't really had amazing scoring chances in the last 5 minutes or so, really not since that power play. And then shortly after, it's been a lot of time in the neutral zone and a lot of time in their own defensive zone. They're just getting outworked right now by the Vikings. And through the first 10 minutes, all you got to do is win periods at a time. Win the first period, then win the second period, you get to the second period. And the Vikings just trying to win the first period. Right now they are, absolutely.
Kanapka at center ice, clears it and down to the Vikings. Moreno tries to slow the puck down a little bit. Brumba looking for a man in front of the net. Moreno, just last second, that puck was any little bit slower. The Vikings may have been in trouble. It's because right there was number 28, Jake Ferguson, who could have had a great opportunity to score Moreno, but Moreno's able to settle the puck down and slow this game down. Now there's going to be a face-off on the far face-off circle in Viking zone. Face-off is won by the Vikings. Looking to clear it out. Brett Brumba going 1-on-4. Let's see what he does with it. Just gets a shot on Jonah Nash, and he settles it down almost immediately.
I think that's an interesting settle from Jonah Nash. There was really no Vikings anywhere near the crease. He had a couple of even outlets to go to for his team, and he just chose to cover that. I think that's kind of interesting and maybe a sign of a lack of confidence after just letting in like the 6th shot of the game. That's
what I was just about to ask you. Do you think it is a confidence level? Vikings lose the faceoff. Sending back into the zone. Kyler Slye. Williams by the net. John Nash loses it out in front. Almost a miscommunication mistake that could have been very bad. Led to a 2-0 hockey game. Irwin using his wheels, going right down. Wrist shot, rebounds. Cameron Irwin trying to get his own rebound right there. Good save by Moreno. Irwin looking for a man. Going back and forth. Sends it out in front. Almost finds Lampman. Lampman looking like the lamp. Sends it out in front. Easy save for Moreno. It's cleared down and tipped away. Should be icing. We're heading down to the Vikings zone once again. 10 minutes and 16 seconds left in this first period. Vikings up 1-0.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, this Vikings team, yes, they have Andrew Fan, and they got him over the offseason. That's awesome. He's a former WHL player. He's performing at a super high level. He's played at a pretty high level. But it's not only him, it's Aaron James. It's the James brothers in general. It's guys like Declan Quinn. They bring a sense to this team. And Aaron James was phenomenal. Tyler Chapman with a hat trick yesterday. It is a lot of guys on this team. They have the depth that they've never had before. And even their backup goaltender, Toki Young, He's only played a couple games, but he's been fantastic.
And one of them was against our own WSU, where he had an amazing game, stopping about 38 shots. Yang trying to get it down low to a man. Hits off this broken stick as there's a stick on the ice. McConnell rips one on net to Morena. And there you go, Morena sends it away. Something that you don't see from Jonah Nash. And maybe it is a confidence thing. Slye slammed against the boards, clears it out. Vikings making some subs. Cleared down into the zone. All the way bringing it around town. Number 12 of the Vikings is the man to find it. Kyler Slye now cleared down once again. A lot of dump and run hockey right now, Zach. Do you think that's a game plan for both of these teams?
I hope not. I mean, if you're Western, yeah, you're comfortable. You've got the 1-0 lead. The Huskies need to get going, and this dump and chase hockey is not working for them.
They just seem to not be able to get set up in the zone anytime soon. Logan Maloney battling against the guy on the board. Sends all the way to Musgrave. Shoots. Almost a big tip by his own guy in front of the net. Good save by Morena. That is why you stretch, ladies and gentlemen, if you're a goaltender. Woo!
Wow, unbelievable save from Morena, not only to get his leg all the way across, but to be able to read that puck in just a matter of a second. It stopped right in front of him, hits off his own guy in front, and then Johnny on the spot thought he had a goal, and Nolan Morena says no, and he's able to even reach his left arm across as well to cover that puck with his chopper. Incredible.
Well, Lampman wins the face-off. It's Cameron Irwin on his left, Derek Wolf on his left, Kanapika down here to back the defense up, but Aaron James able to get a steal. Send it all the way up to Brett Brumba. Brett Brumba using his wheels, looking to go. Oh, what is the call? They called it on Ethan Secord in the background. Don't know what the call is or what happened, but Brett Brumba had a golden opportunity because he beat Duncan Needham. He caught him on a flat foot, but now the Huskies are going on the power play.
Yeah, this is going to be a slash on Secord. This must have been well behind the play and just a dumb penalty to take when you have Brett Brumba on a breakaway. He's already got one tonight. Could have been a 2-goal lead for the Vikings, and now you're shorthanded and you're putting one of the best offenses there is on a power play.
Well, Andrew Fan is on the PK. He can do a little bit of everything. The coach has said Aaron James trying to get a tip, sends a man down on the boards, keeping in the zone. Good job by the Huskies. Huskies looking to get set up now. Bringing it around town, behind the net. Now it's going to be sent all the way to Lampman at the point, and he has to keep it in barely. All the way to Derek Wolf now. Wolf looking for a man. Lampman at center ice now at the point. Back out to Wolf. Wolf and Lampman doing a little Jackie Moon action. Lampman rips it, shoots, gets it away. Another great save by Morena in front of the net. What is happening? Morena sprawls out and gets it. There has to be a wall in front of this net right now, Zach.
You're right, there is a wall. His name's Nolan Morena. Unbelievable. The puck rainbows up and basically traces the posts of the cage and somehow stays out. But there could be a wall in that net that we just can't see that just won't cross the line. UW has to be frustrated a little bit now.
A minute and 30 seconds left on the power play. 8 minutes and 29 seconds in this first period. Vikings up 1-0. Morena is the reason for that right now. Couple extraordinary saves just in that sequence. Face-off won by the Huskies. Wolf at the blue line, all the way to Lampman. Lampman looking for a man, back out to Wolf at center ice. Lampman now looking to rip it, shoots. Saved by Morena once again. Jacob James is the man trying to clear it. No, he doesn't get it off. Wolf down low to Lampman once again. Slap shot. Hits off Deegan's skate. Back to Lampman once again. Back and forth. A minute left in the power play. Lampman at center ice. Rips it on net, and it's a stick that hits it, and it's cleared into the netting.
What we've learned here so far, the Huskies in this game so far are power play merchants. Pretty much all of their chances have come on the power play, and again, they're taking advantage of this as well. They've gotten countless chances already, and they still have a little under half of this to go. I wouldn't be surprised if we do see a goal here.
All the way out to Williams now at the line. Williams at the blue point, all the way to Irwin. Irwin, wrist shot, shoots, hits off the skate of Andrew Fan. Doing a good job on his defensive arc right now. Down low to Patterson, or Jake Ferguson. All the way down, and it hits into the netting again. Good stick by Sayway to clear it up into the netting. 39 seconds left in this power play. 7 minutes and 42 seconds left in this first period. And that goes back to what we said in the pregame, Zach. Don't get in the sin bin. Do not take penalties, because as of right now, Western's been the better team 5-on-5, but the Huskies are getting so many opportunities on this power play.
And Washington knows what it's like to go scoreless in the first period. They went scoreless yesterday against SJSU in the first period, and if the Vikings survive this, it'll be huge.
Aaron James looking for a short-handed goal right there, but gets the puck caught into the skates of Aaron Irwin, who did win the fastest player in the Pac-8 conference this year. Cleared all the way down. Irwin trying to keep on his stick in there after regroup as Williams couldn't keep it in or on sides. 13 seconds left on the power play, about 7 minutes left in this first period. Despite having many opportunities, the Huskies still have that big old goose egg on the scoreboard, and I think that's because of Nolan Morena. Keeping it going. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Irwin does a little pirouette, tells his groups to reset. Has Cameron Britt on his right side. Irwin makes a couple guys miss, looks to go backhand, front hand. Now drops it off to his defenseman. No, sends it down low. Raised to be fast with it, Morena. Down low to Maloney now. Good save, trying to go around town. Morena finds himself saving another puck. Cleared all the way out. Here comes the Vikings. 1-on-3 is the man, Tyler Chapman. Good stick right there. That's why you have a stick as a goaltender by Jonah Nash. Now a battle scrum on the boards. Chapman sends it out in front. Almost a golden opportunity right there for Aaron James, but it's cleared down low to Morris now. Darren Morris looking to make a guy miss, almost between the legs. Cleared all the way. Ethan Secord, he lays the line. Sends Morris down to the ground. Some pushing and shoving happening right now in the corner. All the way out to Maloney, who rips it on net. A rebound. Shot on net by the Huskies. That's a guy tumbling on Morena. No call yet, and they finally do sell the puck down as Nolan Morena is rolling around.
Morena is seemingly okay. He is getting up now, but you're right. He took a huge shot and got pushed all the way back into his net, and there doesn't seem to be any call coming from this, although I thought the captain, Morris, kind of did that on purpose a little bit, not really getting pushed into it per se, but nonetheless a huge collision, and UW has done that before. We saw it in the Washington State series. They try and get in close to the goalie and get in his head, and Morena, that's what you're gonna have to do to beat Morena tonight.
On the far face-off circle, Logan Maloney gets it to his guys at the point, looking to reset. Once again, it's back to 5-on-5, almost a tip in front of the net. Again, Morena with a magnificent save. Cleared all the way to Pearson. Can't get it on his stick. Musgrave looking to reset, has some guys. McConnell was on sides, but Maloney wasn't. 5 minutes and 45 seconds left in this first period. Cleared down to his man, Pearson. Pearson sends it around the board. Trying to slow it down is Jonah Nash. Good job by Jonah Nash right there. Now McConnell slammed against the boards, able to kick it out. What a kick right there. Jake Ferguson now with the puck. Looks for a man. Might have Musgrave. Ferguson, not the Cowboys tight end. This is a hockey player. Down low to Jake Ferguson once again. He lets it go behind the net of Morena. Declan Quinn now backhands it back out. Huskies backhand it back in. Declan Quinn backhands it right back out. And it's sent all the way down. Can they get it out? They keep on battling. The Vikings finally do get it out. Good job right there. Hester now, the defenseman, who's had a pretty solid year for the Huskies. These guys are just turning the puck over right after each other. 5 minutes left in this hockey game. Man, you hate to say it, but just don't do any penalties. There might be a misstep in front of the one-timer. Another great save. My, oh my. Morena just standing on his head and toes right now. Almost was a misinput situation where the turnover leads to a very easy shot for the Huskies, and the one-timer doesn't find its way to the back of the net. Morena, once again with a great save, as there should be icing, and there will be, right back down to the Husky zone. Zach Morena's been the man.
Nolan Morena, like I said, he's going to be the key to this game. He's going to have a master class, a great performance, and he's doing just that right now. 19 shots for the Huskies in the first period alone in a semifinal game, and he has been incredible.
Aaron James on the far face-off circle gets it to his man. Wrist shot doesn't even touch Nolan Morena as Peter Konopka gets in front of that shot, but his pass to Duncan Needham was a little out of reach. Some tumbling and jumbling. Skylar Sillette hits the ground. Sillette now on the forecheck with Jacob James, cleared all the way down. Should be another icing call. And yes, we're heading back down to the Husky side. 4 minutes and 10 seconds left in this first period. And there's one shot away from Nolan Morena being on pace to make 60 saves in this game.
No kidding. And the Huskies really here, they're back-to-back icings. Again, Another uncharacteristic thing of them. This is not who they normally are. They're normally the dominant team with chemistry, smooth passing. They know how to break it out. They know how to get out of their own zone, but really not this weekend. They haven't shown it.
Shot on net, almost trickles its way past Jonah Nash. It was a good shot by the Vikings. Cleared down. Looks for his man, sends it all the way to Ethan Seekert, who's had a good couple hits and plays so far in this game. Trying to get it to Cameron Irwin is Needham. Needham sends it around the boards. Can Wolf get there? Yes, he will. Sends it back to his man Lampman. Brett Brumba had almost a golden opportunity without that penalty, but we're still at 1 goal apiece out in front. Just a little too much. Wolf would have had a great chance at a go-to-wrist shot.
And again, just another missed opportunity there for the Huskies.
Another missed opportunity like Zach has brought up. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this first period. Cleared away once again. The Huskies are about a stick away from making maybe potentially a tight game or even getting some more goals on Nolan Morena, but he is standing strong right now. This puck was cleared into, I believe, the bench and hit some of the net. So they have to regroup on outside of the blue line. 3 minutes and 17 seconds left in this first period. 9 shots for the Vikings, but they have a goal compared to 19 shots for the Huskies, but Nolan Morena's the goaltender for the Vikings.
He's been absolutely incredible for this team.
Again, the refs are talking to some guys. They've been a little bit more talkative here in the playoffs as maybe that paycheck's a little bit more. Oh, a bad misinput with his feet leads to Pearson ripping one on net. Hits Jonah Nash in the chest, but this one rebounds out now. Stolen away by the Vikings. No, nothing can get there, can they? Yes. Pearson trying to battle it, trying to get to his man Tyler Chapman. Tyler Chapman behind the net of Jonah Nash, sends it back and forth. Pearson all by himself, rips it. Stuffed away. Good save by Jonah Nash. Tries to center it out in front. Logan Maloney's able to steal it and finally get it out. Logan Maloney gets it stolen away from him by Jacob James. James looking for a guy. That gets stolen away. And a bad pass again. Again, missed opportunity for the Huskies as they finally have a break, and a bad pass leads to them having to get regrouped, but they do luck out with an icing call right here.
The Huskies just seemingly look like they know they're supposed to be here, but they're not going to work at it. Meanwhile, the Vikings look hungry. They just look like they want it more than the Huskies right now. They're beating them in every aspect. Yes, the Huskies have more shots, but they have also had more power play opportunities and have specifically taken advantage of those power play opportunities. I wouldn't be surprised if over half their shots are from that.
Limpman wins the faceoff but loses the 2v1. Jacob James gets slammed against the boards. Wolf finds its way to Morena. Morena shoots the puck. Is it on net? Yes! Yes, it is. Would have been a goalie goal if there was an empty net right there. Morena's even getting some shots up. Dustin Wolf says you can't get shots up. I mean, Nolan Morena proved him wrong, and a massive hit at center ice as Irwin lays out the man Andrew Fan. Irwin now all by himself, rips it. Morena with another save. My, oh my. Aaron James now pushing up. Andrew Fan got up like nothing happened. Aaron James finds his rebound on the bad pass, and the offsides is going to be called. A good call right there as Irwin and Fan are now talking to each other.
Yeah, and that's a good call by the linesman. Fan was just a little bit too early on that. And like we said earlier, he doesn't get crunched very often, but right there took a big shot at center ice. And how about Nolan Morena getting a shot on goal for his team from way out, from well downtown at the 200-foot blue paint. What an incredible job by him to get that on net, so there's no icing, and he also was able to clear the puck for the Vikings.
Declan Quinn on the near face-off circle right outside the blue line. Looking to get his man, Ethan Seekert or Hunter Smith, probably. Minute 57 seconds left in this first period. Vikings out, up 1-0. Tip to center ice. Both teams just turnover after turnover as of recent, ever since that goal. Keeping it in the zone. Good job right there by the Vikings. Sends it back down to Kyler Slette. Just tries to send it around the boards. Can it get to the man? No hit there, though. Minute 30 seconds left on the power play. Or on the first period, my apologies. Send all the way down. A shot on net. Jonah Nash sends it right back out. A guy takes a tumble right at the feet of the referees, pushing and shoving. It's one by out. He takes a tumble. Again, no call. These guys are hitting each other a little bit more, Zach.
No kidding. Declan Quinn took a man down. Huskies wanted a penalty. Then Declan Quinn goes down. Then Declan Quinn wants a penalty. It's chaos here.
Speaking of Declan Quinn, he takes a hit. He did a hit on Sloan. Declan Quinn's getting a beating in this game, regardless if he's hitting or someone else is. Musgrave and him going back and forth. Quinn with the puck. Takes a hit from Musgrave once again. They're talking to each other. Would not be surprised if this game got out of hand. These guys are two very aggressive teams. Jacob James now with the puck, gets it stolen away. Chapman can't get to it, and they flip it up and out of way, but the man might be there. Peter Kanapika slammed against the boards. Ethan Sinkers, and they're going to call a penalty on him.
Wow, this is genuinely unreal. I'm not sure what this call is for in any way, and the Western coach is absolutely irate about this call. They were both going for the puck. They had both gotten to the puck, and Secord hits him into the board, and they're going to call interference. That is an awful break, and I think he wants an explanation for this. That's insane.
What an awful call, honestly. We were talking about it the whole time. Declan Quinn, 30 seconds before, was taking hits and receiving hits 10 times harder than that. But it goes against Western Washington, and this is where the Huskies have been thriving despite not being able to score in this game yet. There's 35 seconds left in this period, a minute and 50 seconds left for their power play, though. Logan Maloney gets it out to Dominic Wolf now at the point. Back and forth. Dominic Wolf all by himself. Looking to rip one on net. He does rip one on net. Morena steers it away pretty easily. 18 seconds left. One good clear no, keeping it in the zone is Wolf. Andrew Fan might get a steal right here. Here comes Aaron Chase. They dive out. It might be a 5-on-2. Here comes Lampman. Lampman looks to make a move. Good stick right there. Wolf keeping it in the zone. About 5 seconds left. Lampman trying to send it out in front maybe. Sends it to a man out in front, and it's cleared away. And that is going to be the end of this first period. It's a 1-0 hockey game, but boy, is this exciting.
This is a great game so far, and quite frankly, a goal right there for the Huskies could have turned this entire game. You never want to give up a goal at the end of a period, and right there, that is big time for the Vikings to be able to hang on. Yes, they still got a minute 20 to kill on the power play, of course, but that is a great way to end the first period. You're up 1-0, a big goal. Now you just got to keep doing it, keep winning one period at a time. Now they're 1-0.
Well, this game is far from over, but you got to keep talking about him. Nolan Morena on pace for 63 saves. Are you kidding me? On the other end, Jonah Nash isn't even on. He's having a really good game. He's on pace for himself to have 33 saves. An overall insane game from both goaltenders, and it's not like the offenses aren't getting shots up. Both of these offenses are getting amazing shots up. The one thing you do have to bring up for Western Washington, despite them winning, stay out of the penalty box. Only reason the Huskies are getting that many shots is through the penalties.
Yes, I mean, 3 penalties really in that period. The last one, of course, very, very questionable call to Secord. Interference when both players really arrived at the puck at the same time into the boards. A very questionable call, to say the least. But also, Secord took a slash earlier in that period, as well as a roughing from Declan Quinn, just racing around, hitting everybody. Like you said, taking a beating one way or another. That kid is going to have bruises on him tomorrow when he wakes up, and he's hoping to wake up with bruises, but wake up for a championship game. That's what this team wants to do. One of these two teams is going to play a very hungry Cal team tomorrow, at top of the division. Only lost 1 game this year, and these two are going at it. A fresh face and a dynasty on the line in this one to go to the championship.
Well, this game is starting to get a little chippy. A lot more hits happening, especially in the close when they get to the championship, like you just brought up. And if you guys like watching KUGR playoffs, we do have the championship. We'll be live streaming tomorrow, so make sure to subscribe if you guys want to see that. Stay tuned for a crazy upcoming, should be second and third period. I'm Connor Simmons, joined by Zach McFarlane. We'll see you guys at the beginning for Puck Drop of period 2.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
A lone goal on a lone power play for Western. That's all that separates us from Brett Brumbaugh. 1-0 the score here entering period 2 here in Sheeny. I'm Zach McFarlane, joined by Smith Slye. You're watching KUGR, second period of the semifinal and the second game today. It has been a good one so far. It has been extremely physical, especially on the side of Western. Can Western use that the rest of the game to take over this one and beat UW?
Well, I'll tell you, Zach, we were just talking with head coach John Lupinacci for the Washington State University Cougs. He's here watching these playoff games, and he said he had some great insight about this UW team. They are a team that has some serious depth, and the main thing is they have confidence. They were the #1 team overall coming into the playoffs. Cal, obviously, the #1 team for a conference record, but UW was a juggernaut. They beat up on a lot of their conference opponents, so they had some serious depth, and they have serious confidence. But right now, down 1-0 going into the second period, you might start to see that confidence crack just a little bit. And if you're Western, if you can crack that confidence for the Huskies, it might be good. It might be game over for the boys in purple and gold. It's all about continuing to chip away at that confidence, make them doubt themselves, make them start to realize that, hey, you can't just coast to the championship game. You got to win the semifinal game. But it's still, again, if you're Western, keeping the physicality up, laying these hits. You saw Ethan Secord head to the penalty box at the late stage of that first period, and his penalty is going to carry over into the second period as well, where, did he throw an elbow? Did he interfere with them? We don't necessarily know. So there's penalty trouble there for the Vikings, but if you're the Vikings, keep hitting the Huskies, keep pounding them. You can grind them down. So at the very least, even if you don't necessarily win the semifinal game, you can take out their legs so they have nothing left when they get to that championship game against Cal. But again, for the Vikings, keeping up the physicality. And then the other kind of X factor that's really keeping them in the game is Nolan Morena, who's just putting on a clinic in the crease.
He has been absolutely incredible. The puck has gone every which way in that crease, but across the goal line. We've seen it rainbow trace every bit of the red post that is there. We've seen it beyond the goal line, sitting in the crease like a duck. We have seen it every which way but go in past Nolan Morena. He has been on it. He's been on fire, and he is absolutely an X factor. Like I said before, he is a key to this game for the Vikings if they want to take out the defending champions. But when we look at the penalty minutes, 6 minutes in penalties for Western, to the Huskies 2. But when you look at it, it's interesting. Western 1 for 1. Brett Brumbaugh, that's the story of the game right now, 1-0. But when you look at the Huskies, 21 shots after the first period, and I easily think over half of them were on the power play. They have been generating offense mainly on the power play. How is that going to affect them? At least they have to be able to get 5-on-5 pressure at some point, don't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, going back to Brett Brumbaugh, obviously he's the usual suspect for the Vikings. He came into the playoffs with 6 power play goals. He got another one there to give the Vikings lead really early on. But yeah, the Huskies, even though they've been up a man, it's been, of course, like we said, Nolan Morena just being an absolute brick wall between the pipes, shutting down these opportunities. Because like you said, they've had plenty of shots on goal. 1 period in the books, and they have 21 shots on Morena, and he's turned all 21 of them aside. So for the Huskies, if you have a power play coming into this period, you're going to get some more. That's a given. You're going to get some more opportunities on the power play. But you got to be able to capitalize on those, because 5-on-5 hockey is going to be really, really tough against the Vikings. So just execute your passes, get clean zone entry, which has been at a bit of a premium for kind of both these teams. Get clean zone entry, execute your passes, match Western for their physicality. Because they're going to try and grind you down, but if you can do the same thing to them and punch them in the face a little bit, you can take that strategy, you can just throw that out the window and force Western to actually have to beat you on talent, which UW might have the edge on.
UW definitely has the talent edge, but the thing about Western, they just have the grit, and right now they're showing the hunger to get to their first Pac-8 championship ever in school history, while the Huskies kind of look like, hey, we're supposed to be here, we're not really going to work at it, we're expecting to go. But Western giving them a fight, not allowing it to be easy, as we are underway in period 2. The Huskies come out winning the draw, and it will be none other than the junior, Dominic Wolf, firing that around. Morena leaves it off. Hunter Smith pressuring McConnell at the far half wall. Maloney swipes it back to the point. It'll glide the line. Wolf from Lampman. He sends it right back down low below the goal line. Deegan takes a poke at it, but it goes right to the stick of Maloney. He tried to fire it to McConnell. It goes past. Wolf settles it down at the line. Good keep there by Lampman, who spun it further below the goal line. Hunter Smith's going to get to it first, but can't get it out. Yang, Wolf, back to Lampman at the far point. Lampman back to Wolf, and a good poke play, an interception stick play by Smith, and by James, I beg your pardon, and he's able to get that puck out.
Man, this is just an absolutely great penalty kill so far from the Vikings. They're taking away shooting lanes, taking away passing lanes, and making it super hard for the Huskies to get anything going.
Nolan Morena tried to clear that puck and could not. Wolf danced it through James and his number counterpart. And a good save here by Morena on a shot from the point. 18 seconds to go in the power play. Wolf got it over Lampman. Far circle and a shot. Did not get much of it. May have gotten blocked. And this one lifted all the way down and out by Darren James. Jonah Nash to field it with 5 seconds and ticking on the power play.
Man, Aaron James has just been super fun to watch on this penalty kill. He's great on offense. He's got great chemistry with Andrew Fan, the former WHLer, when they're on offense. And on the penalty kill here, his poke checks and his ability to take away the lane is just great for the Vikings, and it's just killing the Huskies on that power play.
This slow rolling puck will go down to Morena, and he puts his trapper over it. With a minute 36 gone by in this second frame, the Vikings clinging to a 1-0 lead, and they have just been the hungrier team despite getting outshot by 11, but of course they have 6 penalty minutes to the Huskies 2. They have been in the box a lot more, giving the Huskies more time, but again, Nolan Morena has been everywhere in the crease, in between the pipes, and Andreas, a shot here off the draw, didn't go. The Vikings look to slap it out, but it's kept alive by Williams, who's now shaking his mitt. May have gotten a hit in the glove there, but no call. Picked off here, Morris intercepted a pass at center. Trying to stick lift and vie for it against Pearson. And then he will just slap it into the Viking zone. Secord now corralling it and comes up the way. Gives a little Heisman stiff arm to a man. Secord trying to go coast to coast, but over the line was Pearson before Secord, and the linesman's arm comes up for an offside.
And that's just sloppy there from the Vikings. Secord bringing it in, like you said, hit the stiff arm move like the Heisman to try and get past Sloan and a number of other Huskies. He was kind of making them look silly. He's fresh out of the penalty box. And he's trying to make up for the 2 minutes that he spent in the sin bin. He skates through all of them, made them look silly, but then Pearson just completely robbed him of that opportunity. Not just having miscommunication. They didn't quite pass over at the same time. And those are things that, you know, you can have a great opportunity brewing like that, but if everyone is not on the same page, you end up being offsides like that. It just completely wipes it away, because now you get kicked out to the neutral zone, and you got to try and get back in again. So that just, you had some momentum coming off that penalty, and now you just kind of lost it right there.
A big game for Western. Went from one of the bottom seeds and just to be easily ousted from the playoffs last year to keeping up with one of the big dogs in the pack here in the semifinal. This one sent all the way down the ice. Will not be an icing. Lampman beats it out. The senior with speed. Tried to send one out front. James picked that one off and angled it off the glass, but kept alive by Konopka. Lampman got it. Moving on in, and a shot didn't go, and then swinging at it was Irwin, and he fanned on the puck mid-air. Back the other way are the Vikings. Andrew Fan leading the charge and just dumps it in for Konopka to corral it.
Man, that is scary if you're Nolan Morena. I know you've been making a lot of clutch saves, but Benjamin Lampman all alone, that is just a scary sight for Morena.
Lampman was trying to throw a little bit of a change up there. That was his approach, trying to go soft short side, and it hit off of Nolan Morena, and Irwin just couldn't slap the rebound out of midair. And speaking of which, here he is at an offside. Lampman is off, but he was pushed off by a Viking. Coach Matt Cleaton wondering why there's no interference call, but nonetheless a stoppage of play at 3:01 gone by and a face-off outside Viking territory.
And if you're a Husky fan, you feel for Lampman there. Definitely was pushed over the blue line to force that offsides call, but that's one of those things that you kind of got to be good at in the Pac-8 and the ACHA. Stuff exactly like that. It borders on interference. You're just kind of hip-checking them into the zone, and stuff like that that can help you win hockey games. You see it when they kind of blur the line between what's goaltender interference and what's a clean goal. It's the same thing there.
There's a shot by Musgrave, blocked down. Declan Quinn just can't quite get there. It'll be David Patterson instead. Getting the puck for the Huskies, taken over though by Quinn. Wraps around the cage, threw one in front, and a stuff play couldn't be home on Nash. He was denying that, and this is lifted all the way back down. What a race here. Yang had to get it. Now Maloney takes it over. A turnover here. Maloney, great save with the glove and a loose puck. Yang, it squirts back to Patterson, and the puck corrals all the way over to the corner. Yang in front. Maloney, a kick save again. One more time, Maloney can't get it to go. Nolan Morena, unbelievable. Back to the point, Patterson sent one well wide of the goal. Maloney fields it in below the goal line. Now skating it back to the point. Musgrave lets it go. Morena did not see that at all, and it goes wide to the left corner, and now a dump it across opposite corner. Here is Yang. Sends it down low for Maloney. Can't quite corral it, and a penalty coming up here. This is going to be against the Huskies. Logan Maloney is guilty, and they're gonna say it's a hook.
That's a good call there from the officials. Logan Maloney got his skate mixed up with the legs of Jacob James. He fell down to the ice, lost his stick as well, kind of a yard sale almost. And then now, of course, Logan Maloney, he's going to go behind the glass. He'll watch on for the next 2 minutes. But this is a grade A opportunity for the Vikings. Their defense hiccuped right there with those back-to-back scoring opportunities for the Huskies. The defense has been great for the Vikings so far this game. They had that hiccup right there, kind of left Nolan Morena out to dry, but he turned them away every single time. Now you have a power play. Now this is a chance to take a 2-goal lead.
Secord calmly puts it over back to Brett Brumba. He is the difference maker right now. Secord goes across corner, down low, in front, directed right on goal. Save made, kicked out, and the rebound still loose. And behind the cage, it's Fan. Tried to send it out to James. He jabs it. Now a catch by Fan. Puts it to himself and can't quite get it on goal. But now the Vikings on the perimeter. Threw one in front. James again. Stopped off by Nash. Right back to the corner once more. Fan slapped it back with a little help to James. Spins away from trouble. Right in the circle and a shot. Save made. Kicked out. And Sloan will shove it the rest of the way for 200 feet.
And the Huskies are going to get a change in both, and the Vikings are also going to get a change as well. A couple great scoring opportunities for the Vikings, but they can't quite seem to get past the pads of Nash and can't quite get any like clean shots onto Nash. Their bodies out in front, they're kind of tipping it away, so the Vikings need to get past the defense out in front.
James making some moves on Andres. This was touched by Fan, so no icing. Needham rattles this around the end wall. Secord calms it down with his skates. Brett Brumba relays it down low for Fan. He is shoved right into the wall by Konopka, who fires it again around the end wall. Aaron James back to get it. One-timer, hurried one, blocked down. Andres blocked again by James, could not quite get it out. Andres goes down. No arm is up with the official. He wanted a call there. Chapman sends it down low. Fan, beautiful move in front, and a shot that goes wide. 2 Vikings to the puck immediately. Brumba backhands it down low for Chapman. 24 seconds to go on the power play and at the near wall. Vying for it here. Needham trying to get it out. Loose puck comes to Chapman. No, backhander by Fan and a shot that goes wide of the right post. Keeping it alive once more, Brumba. 10 to go on the power play. Vikings trying to make it 2-0. Threw one in front, directed again. Nash couldn't get it to go. Falling down into the boards was James. No penalty call here. And now we get one against the Vikings, and they can't believe it.
Yeah, Brumbaugh is going to head to the box there. Very obviously tripped up. I believe it was Lampman who was trying to skate back for an opportunity. Definitely tripped him up. It was clear as day. I mean, the Vikings are frustrated about it, obviously, because you're going to be going down a man again. It's another penalty against them, so another power play for the Huskies. The Huskies' power play has been good at staying in the Vikings end and good at creating opportunities, but they haven't been able to get past the pillows of Morena thus far. But now with Brumbaugh off the ice, the Vikings down by a man in the Vikings end, and with 13 minutes and 49 seconds left, the Huskies have an opportunity to tie it up right here 1-1 if they can just finally break through on special teams.
And 1 second after the UW penalty to Logan Maloney, after he gets out of the box, the Huskies find themselves on the man advantage. And the tables have been turned a little bit. 25-17 in the shot column. And the Huskies win the draw. Wolf goes across to Lampman. Of course, the usual suspects out there for the Huskies on power play number 1. Yang calms it. Sends it Wolf. Tried to shoot it through traffic. It was blocked down. And now Jacob James will take it himself one-on-one with Wolf, and he's able to just lift this one in below the goal line, calmed down by Nash.
I love that play there from Jacob James. Gloved down the clear and skated it out to kill some more time. That's just a smart play.
Wolf across the line, onside play, rims it around the end wall. Maloney corralling it, but again, sent it back down below the goal line. Hunter Smith picked it off, but right back to Maloney again on the clear attempt. Yang back to Maloney. Send it over to Wolf at the circle. Back to Yang, and a shot blocked down there and deflected wide off the body of Hunter Smith, and it will leave the zone with 68 seconds to go on the man advantage.
Man, the Vikings are doing such a good job of chasing the Huskies out of the zone. It's just great to see.
Maloney couldn't quite thread it through there to where he wanted. Gets it right back in the goal line. Send it back to the point. Lampman through the slot. Down to Wolf. One-timer didn't go. In behind Morena. Comes out in front and through the crease it went, but did not go. 48 seconds left on the power play. Maloney grabs it off from the corner. Sent McConnell. One-timer answered again. Morena unbelievable. Huskies still on the prowl. Wolf back at the point. Yang in with Wolf, couldn't get it to the slot. Maloney again, a shot, blocked down in front off of Viking. It's underneath him. Somehow we're gonna get a whistle. The Huskies can't believe it. There's some altercation after the play. 26 to go in the power play and 12-14 left in the second, but nonetheless, still a scoreless power play from the Huskies.
Nolan Morena's pads have got to be smoking with how many shots he's faced and how many times he's just kicked them away. It's just insane. He's faced 27 so far this year, and then right there out in front there was that kind of altercation. They fell on top of the puck. A couple of men are going to head to the box. It's going to be Hunter Smith along with, I believe, number 9, Darren Morris for the Huskies. If I can see his number correctly, I believe it is number 9, Darren Morris. Pardon me, that's Dylan McConnell, the senior from Kirkland. So I can see the 9, I didn't see the little 1 right to the side of it. So yeah, Dylan McConnell will be in the box for the Huskies. And then of course it's Brumbaugh sitting next to Hunter Smith in the penalty box for the Vikings.
And what an interesting kind of sequence that was. As now 7:46 gone by in this second period, and it has been nothing but chaos. This whole game has been. And all there is to it is just one goal. Brett Brumbaugh, right now the difference, but the Huskies trying to stop that. Williams a shot again, answered one more time by the big pillows of Morena, and they've never been bigger than they are in this one. Here comes Morris as it cleared the zone. One last rush here on the power play for the Huskies. Morris walks in, into out, couldn't get it on his stick. It was knifed away. To the back, it comes Irwin, a shot deflected, and again getting a piece of that was Morena. Ferguson in below the goal line, turns it. Reverses and curls it back. Morris at the point, coming back to make a play. Popped up into the air, a Hail Mary style shot there. And Brett Brumbaugh now controlling it in behind the cage. And he is hooked, and there's going to be a penalty coming up. The Huskies are going to go right back to the box, and Cameron Britt is who's guilty. And so now the Vikings will go to the power play. Wow, holy penalty trouble for both these teams.
I mean, you just said penalty trouble. Both these teams are getting incredibly lazy. That's, when teams get lazy, that's when they commit as many penalties as you're seeing. Why? Because they realize that they need to be able to stop this opportunity. They need to be able to slow this guy down. So how do you do it? You trip him, you hook him, you hold him, you interfere with them, you commit penalties. That's how you kind of stay in step with that team when you're getting lazy, and you need to be able to not drop this game.
It's all mental as well. Here's a shot on target. That one tipped wide off a body in front. Jacob James unable to keep it alive, and Chapman, who's being pursued by Maloney, shielding the puck on his back and had a hat trick in yesterday's contest. And again, cleared out by Patterson. Settling it down here for the Vikings is Deegan. Dropped it off for Chapman. Across the red line now, Secord over the blue line. Dances by one, Secord. And that one jabbed off his stick and just bounced it back to the point, looking for Chapman. Unable, now he's in a foot race with Andres. Chapman wins it. Good positioning from him, muscles him off the puck, and a 3-on-2 perhaps. Secord enters the zone, trying to establish it. Just threw one on net, blocked in front. Sloan hopped it out of the zone, and 1:09 left on the man advantage. Really nothing so far for the Vikings.
Man, Secord has some silky mitts. Every single time he has the puck, he just seems to dance through these Huskies like they're not even there, like he's dancing through smoke. And then, of course, with his teammates, his counterparts on the ice just really aren't backing him up. So I'd like to see Secord break in and his teammates actually kind of compliment him. So if they can do that, they can get one past Nash.
Fan lays it on for Brett Brumbaugh. Brumbaugh carries it and spins it right at the top of the circle, lifts it off. Secord, a one-timer, blocked by Sloan, and it comes to the corner. Rattling to the stick of Fan. Surveying his options. Stands completely in place. Now works it down low to James. It opened up, save made, rebound. Oh, and he fanned on it. Quite literally, no pun intended. Andrew Fan missed the bouncing puck. It went over the top of his stick, and now 15 seconds to go. They lay a pass all the way down. It's errant, and it becomes an icing against the Vikings with just 12 seconds left on the man advantage.
My goodness, if you are Andrew Fan, you have got to be kicking yourself because that was a golden opportunity to cash in on Nash, and you just can't get it past him. It could have been a 2-0 hockey game, but just he's able to deny. He just kind of whiff on it and sweeped away. The Huskies are doing a good job of just keeping pucks away from Jonah Nash. He's only faced 19 so far in this game. I'd like to see the Vikings maybe up the shot count.
Let's see if they can. Huskies playing keep away in the offensive zone right now, shorthanded, and a good way to kill this penalty. And Britt will come out of the box. We are back to even strength across the board. And Lampman gloves this clear attempt out of the air. Irwin dropped it back off. Wolf tried to get it to Lampman in a good diving effort to block that passing lane. James now a diving effort, can't get it away from Konopka. He'll throw it down low for Irwin, in below the goal line, jam play, Lampman fans on it. It goes through the crease and it's out off a Husky. And it will come out for Needham, and now a whistle again, and it's played by a high stick at just over halfway through this game. 9:08 to go in period 2. Still just the Brumba goal that separates us 1-0.
Aaron James is just absolutely incredible. You saw it there. You cannot allow it to get lost in the sauce. He had a couple of great defensive stops, poke checks, putting his body on the line, diving to block these shots. The Eagle River, the freshman from Eagle River, Alaska, was brought over with Andrew Fan along with his brother Jacob James. He recruited both of them to come play for the Vikings, and since they've been here, they have just been so fun to watch.
Irwin fields it at the red line. And now looking for a good blue line entry. Nice feather pass to Lampman. Holds it to his backhand. And a shot, maybe shrugged away by Morena if he got a piece of it. Now in the opposite corner. Vikings will clear it all the way down. Is it going to be enough for an icing? It should be no. They wave it off. Needham setting up shop in below his own goal line. Banks that out off the boards to Wolf. Poked off at the blue line. Wolf comes back in, re-enters, sent it over Irwin. Right circle, and a shot chested away. Rebound there, popped up and into the corner, in below the goal line. Irwin comes out in front, and another shot right into the stomach of Morena, who now takes his mask off and his blocker and now readjusts his equipment. What would Caitlin Turney say about that shot?
She would say, you are never, ever going to score if you shoot it into the logo of the goalie. If you shoot it into their chest, it's just never going to work, especially not against Nolan Morena, who, oh my goodness, is putting on a game. The thing that separates him from most every other goaltender in the Pac-8 and in the ACHA is that he does not give up on the play. After the initial shot, the rebounds, he sticks with the play all the way through and denies them again and again and again and again.
The one place they can't control, their pads and their legs. You can shoot for rebound, hoping for a ricochet, but you can't shoot it into their stomach expecting a rebound. They can corral it pretty easily. They're hugging the puck, and that's what he did. Men down here, my goodness, and a shot. Scores! Slye! It's 2-0 Vikings!
The hometown kid, the sophomore from Bellingham, just absolutely tucks that over the shoulder of Nash. That's about as beautiful as a goal as you'll ever see. And it all starts with Declan Quinn just taking a Husky down with him to the ice, forcing that turnover in the O-zone so you can get possession and you can let Slye get to work and get his 8th goal of the year. That is just absolutely insane from the Vikings, and they have a 2-goal lead against the number 2 seeded Huskies.
They are trying their absolute best to take down the defending champions. And what an incredible goal at no better time. The 1-goal lead extends to 2, and it comes from Slye on the 20th shot for the Vikings. Lifted all the way back out. Fan pokes it along for himself. A little pass to himself. Now Fan looks at Needham, trying to pursue him. Tried to kick it to James, couldn't do it. Hunter Smith tried to send that one to the corner, blocked by Ferguson, and the Huskies trying to clear it, but can't just yet. Konopka pested there by Brumba. rattled all the way around the shelf of the back wall and comes all the way down, and the loose puck taken by Secord, who looks like he's coming off a jet sweep play here around the cage. A turnover here, Wolf has Lampman maybe trailing, backhands one on, and that one deflected off the skate or maybe shin pad of Hunter Smith, and then in behind the cage, and now a rebound, and it's Morena, and now some pushing and shoving here. Irwin and Lampman in the middle of it for the Huskies, but Morena did not like the little jab he got after the play with 7:08 to go in period 2. Are the Huskies seemingly showing a little frustration that they just can't put one by number 74?
Oh, absolutely, and it's the usual suspect. It's Cameron Irwin. He's an agitator on this UW team. You see that in almost every single opponent they play. He's the one who's out in front. If he gets the extra little poke, extra little jab on the goalie, and he's there to just kind of punch and kind of shove guys away. You know, he's out of Moreno Valley, California. He had 20 goals and 20 assists coming into the playoffs. He's productive on offense, but he's definitely an agitator. He can get in your head if you let him.
Matt Clayton just told a couple of Huskies on the bench who were sitting down to stand up. And there's that kind of game right now for the Huskies. Meanwhile, Chapman shoots one on target and a save made on the short side try from him. He rifled one from the outside of the circle with 6:50 to go in period 2. And is this quite how you thought this game might go, at least this far into the game?
Absolutely not, Zach. I was expecting maybe a little bit more of a ping pong match like what you saw in that USC-Cal game earlier today, where there was kind of back and forth, back and forth. I'm leading, no, you're leading, now I'm leading, now you're leading. But it's not quite been like that. It's been the Vikings kind of smothering the Huskies in some aspects of the game. And if you're the Huskies, you need to reset fast if you don't want this game to just completely slip out of your control.
Loose puck, just kind of sputtering there. Sleddy. He scored just a moment ago. This one sent out in front off the stick there, and now moving into the Huskies, a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Britt drops it back off McConnell, dances around one to the outside. Nice shot over the top of the shoulders, tracing again the pipes, but did not go. Huskies look to go right back and re-enter. It's Williams going coast to coast. Onside play. Maloney went over the line. It was close, but he was there. Britt rattles the puck through the slot, at least tried to, and Quinn and company able to get that out. It comes all the way down. There's a race on for it, and an icing is called, and Western again irate with the linesman. Aaron James looked like he would got there, or at least was in even with the Husky, but apparently not, and they will get the face-off of the offensive zone.
Head coach Adam Seeger and his entire coaching staff with the Western Vikings had their hands up. That was just completely frustrating for them. Aaron James got on his horse, and it looked like he was neck and neck with the Husky, but I mean, the call doesn't go their way. They're gonna blow this dead right here for a cross check. That's definitely brutal against the Vikings, so it's gonna be the Huskies heading to the power play again.
Yeah, and this is honestly a very dumb penalty. Aaron James is going to go maybe a little bit of a retaliation for something he did prior. He just cross-checked a man completely aside the play without the puck. And the back judge over here, the referee in the defensive zone for the Huskies, saw that from a mile away. And now a power play and a big opportunity for the Huskies to get back in this game. They seemingly seem so far out despite only being down 2 goals.
And you see the two captains, Darren Morris and Patrick Pearson, talking things over with the officials just outside the penalty box, trying to sort out some things here. I imagine you see a lot of that. These two teams there's going to be a lot more penalties to come in this game, because these two teams do not like each other. You saw that when they played back in Northgate about a week before the playoffs. These teams just do not gel well together.
Not one bit, and that has shown, like you said. Wolf quarterbacking at the point. Irwin banks it down below the goal line, looking for Maloney, who beats Hunter Smith to the puck there, and a nice stick lift from him. Coming out with it is the man that wears the A, Logan Maloney, the senior. Irwin at the point now, dances through, nice play, gets by Brumba, and a shot blocked down there by Secord, who went down to a knee to ensure that puck didn't get on target. Hopping over the stick of Maloney and across for Irwin. At the near half wall, and the pass goes awry, and it comes out of the zone. And Western maybe going to be able to regroup. Fan and Brumba, a little miscommunication there, but they get it figured out. Fan comes out, and Morena with a clear and a beautiful pass ahead for Fan, who's moving on in. He scores! Unbelievable! Nolan Morena, the hero. 3-0 Vikings.
There is a reason that Andrew Fan was the Pac-8 point king this year. 67 points in the regular season. When you leave him alone, when he has a breakaway, it doesn't matter who you have in the crease. He is gonna beat him. On top shelf, over the shoulder. Nash can't do anything but watch. It's a 3-goal lead for the Vikings. And like Coach Lupinacci said when we were talking to him off air, if you get a little crack in the Huskies' confidence, everything will just crumble away. And you're starting to see that. The cracks are being exposed for the Huskies. And right now, if you are the Vikings, you just gotta keep chiseling away.
The Huskies have to be frustrated. They give up a short-handed goal to now go down 3-0. Not what you needed here late in the second period. In a game where you've had so many shots and just can't put it across the line. Morris had it poked away by Fan. The Huskies unable to even really enter the zone at the moment. There's Williams now. Williams dances away from trouble and try to get that back to the point. Poked away through the skates of Chapman. Ferguson leaves it off for only himself, and then he spun it back for Williams. Has to move a couple feet to retrieve it. Yang threw one on net looking for a deflection, found nothing, and the puck comes to Williams. He glides with it down the half wall. Caught and calmed down there by Britt. Spun it back over to Yang, has trouble feeling it. Yang now and Fan wins the battle, but now there's a penalty coming up, and it's gonna be against Fan. Andrew Fan is the one who's guilty despite him being down on the ice and wondering why he's going to be called. And the official could call probably a couple of things here, but we will have to see the official call. But nonetheless, a 5-on-3 for 14 seconds, and there's no bigger opportunity or time than right now for the Huskies to try and get on the board.
And if I were to take a guess, I would say it's either slashing or tripping. He kind of hacked at that puck to try and clear it out of the zone. Looks like he might have taken the feet out, and it looks like it is going to be slashing, so that is the call. He slashed at the legs of the Husky and kind of brought him down to the ice there. The Western fans here in the barn do not like it whatsoever. The unpaid officials are letting them hear it down on the ice. It's going to be 5-on-3 for the Huskies. If you can't score here, you're not going to score at all.
Wolf sent it to Irwin. They've got to hurry if they want it. Back to Wolf again, 8 seconds to go on the 5-on-3. McConnell at the top of the circle, holds it. There's James, a shot, and that one again is blocked. I beg your pardon, that was Wolf from the point. Initial penalty timeout. McConnell snapped the stick on the one-time attempt. Secord now trying to extend the puck out, and he does to James, who relays it now for Brumba. One-on-one with Wolf and a shot, caught by Nash, and then shoveled out to his teammate there in Wolf. 1:30 now to go on the power play. 5-on-4 again. They will reset. McConnell back in, kind of hits his own broken stick and loses the puck. Maloney traces the circle on the outside. Wolf to the perimeter. Irwin sent it back through the slot, and again a stick in the way of the lane. Maloney calms it down at the near half wall. Wolf and a shot blocked on the way down. James tried to get it out. A sputtering puck kicked and soccered back in. Wolf, Irwin moves up and a shot saved. Rebound pumped up, loses there. Sprawling out was Morena. He's got to get back up. And a one-time shot over. Morena, unbelievable!
This is just utterly insane from Morena. He's out of Lake Oswego, Oregon. He came into the playoffs with an .876 save percentage, but he is playing like an absolute dog at the moment. Shot after shot after shot. He tumbles to the ice. He gets to his feet. He makes the save. The fans here, the Western fans who drove all the way from Bellingham, are just absolutely getting treated to an absolutely beautiful display from Morena in the crease.
Morena has been incredible, but that play of them all, sprawling back across the paint and just getting enough of it to push it up into the mesh for a stoppage of play after what was such a mad scramble. Can they even get one on this guy? Here's a shot on net, and again, the trapper of Morena seals that shut with 2:44 to go in the second and only 39 left on the Andrew Fan slashing penalty. 34-23, the Huskies leading the shots, but they are certainly not leading this hockey game in the faceoff in the offensive zone. Ferguson ties up Quinn. Britt gets it back. A one-touch pass over to Yang. Across. There's in the slot. Britt just can't get it to go. He's tripped up. No penalty, though. Williams. 25 seconds to go in the power play. Yang right back to Williams. Shoots one. That one right into the stomach of Quinn, who went down to block it, and it's sealed back out.
As good as Morena has been, his defense has been just as good. They are putting their bodies on the line, blocking shots, and just making it really easy for Morena to shine.
7 seconds to go. Huskies trying to get on the board quickly. Williams save. Rebound. Puck is still loose. Way out of the creases, Morena. And the loose puck comes to Chapman. He's got Andrew Fan here cherry picking a little bit. Fields it at the blue line and then just can't get quite the pass he wanted. This one will go off of Morena, and they're going to call an icing, and it literally hit Morena. And now the Huskies bench is irate. They can't believe it. Matt Cleaton asking why this was called.
You understand the frustration. If you have a working set of eyes, you would have saw that hit off of Morena, and therefore should not be an icing. But the officials here, most likely, I don't know why they would want to call that an icing. It slows the game down, and if they want to go home early, you would think that they would want to let that play stand. But they call it that anyway.
Absolutely unbelievable. Nash sends that back out to his teammate in Williams. Britt chips that one ahead for Maloney. Try to spin one further, given up. Here's Jacob James, and a shot short side goes wide of the blocker side. Hunter Smith just slapped one back toward the net, and it's wide. Maloney met by Chapman. Chapman just runs him over like he's Derrick Henry. Here it comes Morris, now the captain of the Huskies. Over the line, and there's an offsides. Britt too early, couldn't quite get the stretch of Nolan Morena to get back across the blue line. 1:22 to go. 3-0 still your score in favor of Western.
Nothing is going the Huskies' way right now. They can't get past Nolan Morena, who coming into this game after that San Jose game, I remember talking with you and Connor Simmons, our broadcast partner, that Morena looked off in that San Jose game. That was not his best performance. They let in 2 goals against the Spartans, which I believe they did not think that was going to happen, or actually I think they allowed 3 goals in that game. So Nolan Morena was looking off in that game against San Jose, and that's what kind of gave me pause coming into this game. But he has quelled any kind of questions you would have about his performance so far, saving 34 of 34.
In a conversation I had in between periods, we talked about Nolan Morena being able to afford having a bad game against SJSU. But a game you can't afford to have a bad game, UW. And not only is he not having a bad game, he just might be having the game of his life. Shutting down the Huskies completely despite 34 shots on net and an enormous amount of chances that have been so dangerous. But nonetheless, the Huskies lift it all the way back down. This will probably be an icing, and it is, with 40 9/10 of a second left in this second frame. 3-0 again, the Vikings leading. If you're just joining us, a fresh face essentially trying to take down what has been a dynasty in the Pac-8 for some time now.
This is the one team, if you're the Huskies, you do not want to lose to. A team that's been at the bottom of the conference forever, won their first playoff game in program history last night. If you lose to them tonight, that's not a good look for the juggernaut Huskies.
Maloney sends it back. Konopka waits, fires right into Quinn again. He got right in the lane, and it will squirt all the way out and back into Husky territory. Needham now, pressured by Vocicki. Wolf back at the red line, trying to enter the zone cleanly, and they do. Irwin fields that puck off the boards. 10 seconds to go. It is poked back out to center. Needham goes down, and a penalty coming up to Secord with 4.7 seconds left. Duncan Needham tripped up there, and Secord, this 3rd penalty of the night, is going to go for a trip.
He's kind of been all over the place. Ethan Secord, he's been in on these plays, but that also means he's probably going to get penalized a lot because he's getting a little too aggressive. He's trying to make things happen, and when you do that, sometimes you end up accidentally tripping someone, hooking them, holding them, doing that kind of stuff because you get a little lazy. The Huskies are getting a little bit lazy when they've been icing these pucks again and again and again, but the Vikings get a little bit lazy there. Ethan Secord just trying to make a play happen late in the period, and it ends up costing the Vikings.
And the Huskies get one late. Yang a shot, swallowed up. Nolan Morena, of course he says no. 35 stops from him tonight. And still, again, 1.4 seconds on the clock. And just 3 seconds gone by on the power play for the Huskies. The face-off awaits. One last puck drop and maybe one more shot attempt, blocked by Fan. The Vikings clinging not only to one, not to two. They score two in that period, and they have a 3-0 lead heading in to the second intermission. And the story of the game has to be number 74 in cream, teal, and dark blue. Wow, he's been the hero. An assist on top of all that he's done for this team in the crease. He gets a primary assist to none other than, of course, Andrew Fan. He has absolutely done it all. And you know what? At the end of this game, if he tucks one from 200 feet down, that'd be the only thing he hasn't done.
You know, Zach, there's always a joke with broadcasters when we go to do our prep for games, when we go to put together our spotting charts. For hockey, at the very least, goalies are always on the stat sheets, but they're always at the very bottom with 0 goals and usually the most games played as well. So we always joke, we're like, oh, who's this bum? He's got 0 points, and he's played almost every single game, and it's because of the goalie. But Noel Morena has an assist in this game, like you said, feeding Andrew Fan for that top shelf Gino that he tucked to make it a 3-0 game. The Huskies have got to be just absolutely pissed right now, because no matter what they have tried, they've put up 35 shots on goal, and it just feels like there is a wall of plexiglass between the pipes, and that must be how Noel Morena is keeping these pucks out of the net, because it's quality chance, quality chance, quality chance, and quality chance, and the Huskies just can't seem to break through. But as good as Noel Morena has been, his counterparts on the ice, his 5 other teammates have been just doing phenomenal so far, getting sticks in the lanes, breaking up passing lanes, shooting lanes, creating opportunities down ice, allowing Morena to be able to feed Andrew Fan for that cherry pick type of goal. That only happens when your teammates are helping you out, right? You're able to get a 3-0 lead going into the third period, and this is a spot that the Vikings didn't think they were going to be in. The Huskies didn't think they were going to be in. The fans here didn't think they were going to be in. I didn't even think they were going to be here. And that is just absolutely insane. It's the number 3 seed Vikings, the number 2 seed Huskies. There is yet to be an upset in the Pac-8 playoffs thus far. The quarterfinals, all the higher seeded teams won in those matchups. And in the semifinals, the game right before this, Cal versus USC. Cal came up on top. Cal was the number 1 seed, the number 4 USC Trojans. So right now, it's the number 3 seed Vikings ahead by 3 to the number 2 Huskies, and the Vikings have an opportunity in the last 20 minutes to do something that has never, ever been done in Pac-8 history.
No doubt about it. And of course, we saw in Cal USC, we thought Cal was going to win and win convincingly. Of course, maybe not 14-1 like the night prior, but we thought a convincing win. And it took a 6-5 back and forth tennis match, with them getting outshot 18-5 in the third period, still outscoring them, doing what they needed to do. And in this game, of course, we thought it was going to be close. But realistically, you're right. It has just been all Western. Despite what the shots say, it has been all Western, and they have more chemistry right now. Declan Quinn has to be just an incredible shot blocker. He has to have maybe 8 block shots at this point. He has been incredible. But with that being said, 9 minutes, 50 seconds until these players hit the ice one more time, at least for regulation. The Vikings with a 3-0 lead. I'm Zach McFarlane, joined by Smith Slye and Connor Simmons on camera, who will come back on camera in the third period. And do not go away. You just may watch history next period. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Cougar Hockey on KUGR.
History on the line, entering period 3 of the second and final semifinal game of the Pac-8 playoff this weekend. One of these two teams will advance to play the California Berkeley Golden Bears tomorrow. The #1 team this season only lost once in the Pac-8, and they are really, really the superior of this division. But right now, in the game against the 2nd and the 3rd seed, Washington, looking for a dynasty here with their 3rd championship in 4 years. Meanwhile, Western just won their first playoff game yesterday and are looking to go to the final to play Cal. It's 3-0 Vikings. Nolan Morena, the netminder, the man who has been unbelievable in the crease for Western, has completely shut down 35 shots to this point, and the Vikings have just capitalized on everything they've needed to, and they're 20 minutes away from an upset win, so to speak, and a championship appearance. What do they have to do to just hang on and send themselves to the final tomorrow?
I honestly would just go almost 70% defense. You have a defensive mind going in this period. You are up 3 goals. All you need to do is play 20 more minutes of good hockey. You can even let up 2 goals. You have a pretty good margin of error right now. Just keep playing your hockey. Nolan Morena's going to keep playing and making amazing saves, but help him out a little bit more. Make those saves a little bit easier. You can't have a better game than Nolan Morena. He has an assist as a goalie. He has 35 saves. He's sprawling and diving everywhere. And the thing about it is, it's not that Western's outplaying Washington. Western just happens to be winning. They happen to have Nolan Morena. Washington itself is the Huskies are having a pretty good game. They have 24 goals, or 24 shots on goal. Jonah Nash is playing pretty good. He's about 6 saves away from having a 900 save percentage. They're getting power plays, they're getting opportunities. They are there, they're hitting hard. The Huskies aren't even playing a bad game. It's just Western is playing stupendous right now. They're the 3 seed. This would be the first quote-unquote upset of the playoffs. Western has been a better team. They find themselves, Nolan Morena finds Andrew Fan on a short-handed goal. You can't make this stuff up. The stories write themselves at this point, Zach, and Nolan Morena is the story.
And I'm not sure if there's an MVP award at all when this is all said and done. But a comeback player of the tournament, Nolan Morena, had a very tough game yesterday. Again, just looked a little bit off, uncharacteristic, unlike himself. And has he responded today in the biggest stage that they have ever been in? And Nolan Morena having the game of his life. 3-0, the Vikings have the lead, but not to mention what Smith Slye said, who's now back on camera. He mentioned just the teamwork and the relationship that you can see this Western team has. Just so much connection. They are blocking shots for each other, laying it on the line. I've seen Aaron James swipe out, taking everything he's got in him just to try and get the puck out, even if all else fails. This team wants it, not for themselves, but for one another. Meanwhile, the Huskies now showing a little frustration. They just can't seem to score. And head coach Matt Clayton, I wonder what he said to his men in the locker room as we get set for the 3rd period. And you have to remember, Secord had his 3rd penalty right before the 2nd period was over. And so we will head back. 3rd period, face-off about to be dropped. Maloney against Fan, and Maloney victorious in the circle. We're underway in the 3rd period. Sit back and watch. You just might see history. This one immediately cleared back down and out. 13 seconds gone by in this period. Nash leaves it off for Wolf on a handoff play. Wolf pitchforks it back for Lampman, and he's going to be tripped up, and there will be a penalty coming up. And if you are the Huskies, you just try and get it, and now a couple seconds tick off. I'm not sure why they didn't really blow it dead. Morena got a couple more seconds to tick off there, but now a 5-on-3 for the Huskies, and not this time for just 30 seconds. Try a minute and 30 seconds. 1:29 on the Secord penalty, and now a tripping to Aaron James.
Well, if there's any time to come back, it's early on in this 3rd period. You got to score right now on a 5-on-3. There can't be any mistakes.
Huskies need to cash in. They need it more than ever now. Irwin walks in, sent one across, a little bit too rough for Lampman. Back to the point. Wolf sets up over to Lampman at the circle. Fake the drive. Lets it go, and it's blocked again by Deegan. Lampman walks the line. Irwin locks in, and a shot. Save made. Morena again. That one right into the crest of the jersey, and he hangs on for a stoppage at 50 seconds gone by.
Well, a minute and 6 seconds left on the 5-on-3, and I remember if we go back about 3 months ago, Zach, we talked to Noel Moreno as we got an interview with him, and he was just so locked in, super nice guy, so locked in, and to have this moment 3 months later, you know, everything comes full circle, I guess you could say.
He was a very humble character, Nolan Morena. He has been the backbone for this team. Of course, a high-powered offense and good pickups over the offseason, but he has been a tremendous goaltender for the men in the cream jerseys. Lampman walks it down low. McConnell looks at the goal line and fires short side and could not stuff it. Cannot fool Morena tonight.
Well, he's just staying strong. You can tell the confidence is just oozing out of him right now. He's got 37 saves. Washington, my apologies. The Huskies themselves, they're getting shots up. They're doing really good. The passing is there right there for them too.
Fan tried to clear it, hit off of Wolf, kept it in with his body. Lampman, 44 seconds to go in the 5-on-3. Wolf, they play a little catch. Wolf sends it down low. Irwin walking in, and a shot didn't go. Blocked down in front. Fan corrals it and clears it.
Just a great penalty. It's been like this all night. The confidence and momentum is fully on the Viking side right now, and they know it. The Huskies, they're getting a little scared. They might get put down later on in this game. What's the call?
They go off sides here. Maloney a little bit too early. And if you're the Huskies, you just can't buy a goal right now.
You truly can't. Honestly, on the bench, seeing some of the reactions whenever I was able to be cameraman was just, we can't beat this guy. This guy is incredible, especially after that sprawling save. You had oohs and ahs from the Husky fans. It was incredible. What Noel Moreno is doing here tonight cannot be repeated.
Complete disbelief. Noel Moreno has put everyone in this building in that state right now. Ferguson walks in and fires. He scores! We're not done yet. Ferguson, a power play goal, finally beats Morena, and it is 3-1.
Well, there it is. They finally beat him. No more shutout for Nolan Moreno. Stu's still having a great day, but also a perfect timed power play goal right there. There was still 8 seconds left in the 5-on-3. They score right there, so they're still going to be on the power play for about 40 seconds. 3-1 hockey game. 18 minutes still left to go, Zach.
Before that, they were 0 for 6 on the power play. They finally cash in on an opportunity, and that was one they needed. That was one they had to have, and they got it. It was late, but they got it. 35 on the tripping to Aaron James is all that's left on his penalty. 5-on-4, though. The Western Vikings get one back on the ice. Morena fires this one around the end wall. Williams calms it down at the blue line. Taking it, Britt below the red line. Reverses and curls it back to Morrison. A shot deflected, and again, pillowed away by Morena. Poked off the stick. Fan gonna calmly and patiently come up with it. Fan pokes it by. He's hit by Williams. And the Huskies will do one final rush here, but Aaron James, mid-rush, will come out of the box, and he does. Britt over the line, onside with Lampman and a shot. Turned aside again by Morena. Brumbaugh in below the goal line here. Shovels that one for Chapman up the half wall. Chapman, a nice bank play, got it to James, leading him on. James across, goes for Brumbaugh, and just can't connect. Now Britt tried to leave it off, and a turnover here, but the Vikings can't do much with it. And 3 minutes transpired here in this period. 3-1 is the score.
Well, Cameron Britt had a chance to turn their 3-on-2 into a, coming down for the Huskies, a 3-on-2, but a bad miscommunication pass leads to nothing really happening and conspiring, and the Vikings ended up with the possession.
Williams looked like he was on the rowing team there, on his hip, and this one bouncing in front. Still the puck is loose. Tying up there was Irwin, and a Viking there. Williams sent one toward the net looking for deflection. Couldn't quite find it. Konopka now battling at the half wall. Coming up from his defensive position. Lampman feathers it through down to Konopka. Stick battle won by Wolf. Relays it to Irwin. Set one in front. Lampman a one-timer and caught the skate of Hunter Smith before it got to his netminder. Konopka tapped it right back to Lampman. Back for Konopka. A little triangle of passing here. Wolf tried to feed it through the slot. Can't do it. Falls down to his knees, and it is eventually cleared out. 4 minutes now gone by, and trying to catch the Vikes on a change. Needham waiting at the blue line, but the defenseman just fires it around. Konopka there, and Secord able to get it out. No, it's poked away. Down low in front looking for Maloney. Couldn't quite spin it toward the net, and it will come all the way out. Rolling on edge. Fan gets this puck. Works in short side. Tried to jam it. Net comes off its moorings, but the puck did not go in. It'll be a stoppage of play, and I believe will just be a face-off in the offensive zone here for the Vikings.
I believe there's not going to be any penalties or a given goal or anything like that. But I want to go back to when the Vikings' whole entire defensive side was super tired, and it ended up about, I want to say 45 seconds ago, where it was Declan Quinn who fell down, or maybe not fell down, but on purposely, took a knee so the pass couldn't get through and it was able to get cleared and the subs were able to be made. Just those kind of plays are the winning plays in games like this right now, where it's a 3-1 hockey game and you're losing in the shot department by 15, but yet you're still up 2 goals.
15:43 left to go here in regulation. The Huskies are the ones on the ropes right now, on the brink of elimination in the semifinal. Konopka, Maloney. This puck comes down, and it is fielded by Nash. 2 years ago, the Huskies were eliminated in the first round by the University of Southern California, USC, who were eliminated earlier today. And then last year, of course, winning it, and a penalty coming up against the purple and gold. It is Consolo who's going to go, and it will seemingly, I guess I just don't know what the call is here. He hasn't necessarily signaled it just yet, but Consolo is going to go, and I guess we will just have to see what it is. A cross-checking minor to Consolo, and the Vikings back to the power play.
I think it was just where the ref's perspective was on that, because I do want to say it looked like Secord just fell, just kind of slipped, and it looked like, obviously when push comes to shove, but it wasn't that hard of a push by Consolo, and obviously it leads into a power play for the Vikings, but we've already had one shorthanded goal today, so why not make it another one? Especially, that's what you got to be thinking if you're the Huskies right now. You're in hurry-up mode.
The Vikings trying to hang on, but now they have a man advantage. Maybe they can get that goal back. They've had a successful few looks on special teams in general today. Scoring one shorthanded, like you mentioned, and scoring one on the power play in their first one of the game, Brett Brumba. And that was the difference for a while, but now the Huskies on the board. And so now it's the goal from Taylor Sleddy that is the difference, as now it will be James. James tried to push that one through the skates of Ferguson, could not. And now the Vikings kind of hemmed into their own end on their own man advantage. This one fired in by Fan, at least he tried to. And it was blocked down in Husky territory, can't get it out quite. Secord over to James, fanning on the shot, losing possession of the puck. Now Patterson battling with him, and a 4-man scrum, 2 apiece here. Fan tried to come out with it. Ferguson denied that one. From a knee, can't slap it out. And now James working it below the goal line. Feeding it back to the point. Secord a shot blocked down by Musgrave. He got it right on the kneecap and sent it back out. 6 minutes gone by in period 3.
50 seconds left on this power play, and you're starting to see the Huskies play a little bit more how the Huskies usually play. They got that aggressiveness, not letting the other team get set up into the zone. They got 40 seconds left on this power play, and I think when we get back to 5-on-5 hockey, we'll see the Huskies start performing really well.
Puck sent down. Morena taps it on its head and leaves it off for Chapman. The man with 3 goals in yesterday's contest and a 7-3 win over San Jose State University to put them in this position that they're in right now. 39-24, the shots in favor of the Huskies as they clear one more time in a very, very unproductive and inefficient power play for the Vikings here. Really the first time we've seen that tonight as they head up the ice one more time. 3 seconds to go on the Consolo cross check. Pearson, the captain, brings it in. And a collision with Williams did not quite go down. The puck sent all the way down, and Irwin's going to get there first. Fastest skater, like you mentioned, going to come into play there. Irwin pokes it along. He is crunched, and a penalty coming up to Western now.
Wow.
And now we must see what it is, and it's a charge.
Well, these teams are just trading penalties at this point, and honestly, you said it wasn't a very productive power play for Western, but honestly, I would argue, I would differ that because it's 2 minutes are off the clock and you have the lead 3-1. There's about 13 minutes left in this third period, and they're up by 2 goals. The one thing you can't not do, or you can do, is just stay out of the penalty box. You got to be able to stay out of the penalty box. But Cameron Irwin, that whole play doesn't happen because of him. Again, using those wheels, getting the puck. He got crunched, but now on the power play, and the last goal came on a power play. So slowly but steady, keep on working it for the Huskies and Western. Find a way to be calm. Find a way to not let the nerves get to you.
18 penalty minutes tonight.
Wow.
For Western alone. Secord has 1/3 of those penalty minutes with 3, and Declan Quinn has 4 of those penalty minutes. 9 penalties committed by Western tonight. Washington with 5, but a chance again for the Huskies to try and really get back in this one. Down 2, 12:46 and ticking to go. Lampman gets this one at the top of the circle, over to Irwin, scores! And they're back in it just like that. Cameron Irwin hits 3-2 on the power play goal.
Here come the Huskies, and that power play doesn't even happen because of the man who scored on the goal. And it came to be, I believe, the Lampkin wrist shot, slap shot. Hit a man, and it finds its way to Cameron Irwin. It almost felt like a perfect 1T setup right there. My, oh my. We have a game again, Zach. It was just 3-0. Everything was going Nolan Morena and the Vikings' way. This place is getting loud once again, Zach.
I said you might see history. I wasn't specific. This game is already historical. It is phenomenal.
Yes.
This day in general has been historical. Here's Aaron James now moving on in. James looking to extend the lead back, and he's stopped off by Nash. He's tripped up in the play, no penalty, and another shot, and then again fought off by the shoulder of Nash. James relayed it down low for Fan. Shoved into the wall. Brumba after it. Nice spin move to get away there from Wolf. Tried to just seam past that one through to the slot. Fan unsuccessful and had it stripped away from him by Lampman. In below the goal line, Konopka settles it down and looks to outlet it for the Huskies. Tried to find Irwin, picked off by Brumba. Brumba working around, just positioning himself around Needham, who poked it away initially, but it comes around the end wall again for Wolf. Tried to pitchfork that one out of the zone and is denied by Sleddy. Irwin will field this puck on a pass play. He leaves it off for Wolf in the slot, and a shot just whistles wide of the cage, wide of the blocker of the netminder, 74 in the cream jersey. Jacob James now with no help as his team goes for a change, just stops on the way in and dumps it around. 11:30 to go, and again, a 1-goal game, 2 power play goals from the Huskies. They have capitalized on those at least a couple times. I'd hope you do. You got 9 of them, and they finally do capitalize on 2 of them. No even strength goals to this point, and really not a ton of pressure even strength wise, but of course, again, you got to think 18 minutes perhaps of this game has been spent with Western shorthanded or a man in the box. Nonetheless, Chapman comes up and backhands this one in. Pearson after Duncan Needham here. Pearson wrestling with the man, 6'2", 195. He's able to push that out. McConnell, Musgrave. Got it out momentarily before it's swiped back in. Pearson once more after Needham.
Well, I did think Dominic Wolf tied this game up for a quick second, but then going back to what you said, it's been almost no 5v5 moments for UW until about that moment. Here they come right here.
McConnell trying to dance it through. Couldn't get away from Fan, now he does. Back to the point, one more time.
Oh! Oh!
Tie game in Cheney. It's 3-3. This game is turned upside down.
Talk about a comeback. Are you kidding me? What a shot from the point. I might have jinxed them. Western Washington takes their timeout right here. I might have did the jinx. Oh my goodness. We said they didn't have a lot of success 5-on-5, then a shot from the point. One of the best shots you'll see all night. And this whole game has flipped upside down. This is incredible, Zach.
Unbelievable. we thought we got our one good game this morning. or I suppose I should say this early afternoon at 3 p.m. with USC and Cal. But we were in for a treat in both contests. A 3-0 game once was. Nolan Morena now taking a kneel in the slot near his crease, as this game has just been tied up with 3 goals in the span of around 8 minutes for the Huskies. And they have tied this game. A seeing eye shot from the left point. And now Western consoling their netminder, trying to get him relocked in. He's been incredible, and even after allowing 3 goals in the last 8 minutes, still well over a 900 save percentage. He's just had that kind of night.
He's had 39 saves and an assist, but it just happens to be UW is right back in this game. Whew, my, oh my, about halfway through this third period, I would have never guessed it would happen that fast, Zach. Don't get me wrong, you can never count UW out. This is just a firing offense. They can fire on all cylinders at some points in the game, but man, they did that fast, especially how Western was looking. Everything is gone the complete opposite way in these 10 minutes.
And of course, Coach Siegel, like you mentioned, calls his timeout after that third goal. I was wondering if he was going to do it after the second one, but he holds off and then now calls it after a third allowed goal to the Huskies. This one coming even strength for the first time tonight. Sloan angles this one back. Konopka, shot, fought off again by the blocker. Pinching that one away from the cage. Andres sends it down low. Hunter Smith battling with Sloan. The Huskies just seem to have an extra step that they haven't really had all night long, and they do now. All the momentum swinging in purple and gold, and this puck is finally rattled out of the zone and then pushed back in by Williams with the Huskies. Will go for a change.
Well, the Huskies are looking like a wolf pack right now. They are swarming, firing on all cylinders. Good hit right there by Morris, but right now they have all the momentum in the world. It seems to be everything's working right now.
3-3 again. This is where the veteran experience comes in for the Huskies. The championship pedigree they have against the young, inexperienced Western team. Although talented, they don't have the deep run in them, at least not that experience. Battling in front of the cage, Deegan and Lampman, as Irwin tried to send that across for Morris, who tries to calm it down with his glove. That one sent across, and again, still battling. Now Secord and Wolf, and now we have a man down on the ice, and a no penalty. They're going to call a hand pass, rather. And you had Aaron James fall and tumble down to the ice. On top of him was a Husky. Nonetheless, 9:04 to go. No penalty on one side or the other, and just a hand pass to stop play.
Well, going back to about 40 seconds ago when the Huskies were just kind of in the Vikings area the whole time. If you looked at Nolan Morena, he didn't have his stick, and I know the whole coaching staff was probably pooping the pants right there after giving up 3 goals in 10 minutes. That is a scary sight you don't want to see, but it all ends well, and it's back to 5-on-5 hockey. He's got to step back. Hopefully he can keep making some more saves.
And like Smith said that he got from Coach Johnny Lupinacci, the Washington State Cougars, you had cracked the Huskies' confidence until now. Now their confidence is probably as high as ever, which is so dangerous for this Western team, and they just have to figure out how to rally back to where they were for the first 2 periods. And an absolute colossal collapse here in the first 10 minutes. 8:30 to go now. 3s across the board, ranging from the score of each team to the period. 43 shots for the Huskies tonight, 25 for the Vikings. Huskies trying to somehow prevail. A championship opportunity on the line in this game. Back to the point it comes Musgrave. Another wrister directed on target and stopped again. Moreno swallows it up.
8 minutes and 8 seconds left in this third period. They fight all the way back from being down 0-3, and the Huskies tied it up at 3 apiece. And Zach, we talked about it for so long. Both these teams have such insane chemistry. That's why you're able to see so many goals in such quick and little time. Both these teams can strike at any point in this game, just a snap of a finger away.
No doubt about it. It has been incredible. Giving it up here is Slye. Haven't seen much of him tonight, and he almost gave it up there on one of his only opportunities on the ice. Secord now speeding around, trying to get by a chance there, and he kind of tumbled down to the ice. He was driving to the net. Needham was in defense, and he falls down and below the goal line, and now Ferguson taking it away from that swipe, directed off the stick of a Viking in front. Sloan relays it back for Konopka. He just throws it right back down low. A spinning play. Andres out in front. Sloan scores! Taylor Sloan. You can't believe what you've seen. The Huskies from 3 down to 1 ahead.
The Huskies have almost done it, Zach. Now they just need to finish this game. There's 7 minutes and 30 seconds left. 4 goals in 13 minutes. Incredible. You can't make a comeback without being down, but they're doing the impossible right now. The stories write themselves, Zach. Oh my. Just an incredible game. What a shot by Sloan in no man's land. Of course, Morena can't save that one. And the Huskies are winning for the first time in this game.
Give the script writer of this game a raise, without a doubt. Absolute cinema here in this one. 45-25, the shots again, and the Huskies taking their first lead of the evening after being down 3-0. They seemed down and out, but the Vikings can't quite hang on, and now they're faced with a deficit for the first time again. Hunter Smith corrals it for Slye. They've already taken their timeout as well. They don't have another one. Fan tried to toe drag around. Is he going to be enough of an X factor to get his team back in it? 4 goals by Morena after he had been unbelievable, the hero of the night. And the Huskies just with all the momentum right now. Crowd getting into it for them as well. Wolf wipes out there right inside the blue line. Fan slows it down across the Eagle logo. Fan vying with Maloney, and that puck pitchfork and grabbed off. Bucket catch there from Maloney. Carries it back in and a shot easily grabbed by Morena with 6:13 to go in period 3.
Well, the Huskies want a rematch of last year. Cal already made it, and you score 4 goals in the third period to take the lead with 6 minutes left here in the third. They want to get right back to where it all happens in that big old championship, make a dynasty happen like you said. They're feeling confident right now, Zach. You can tell they're moving faster than they were even in the first period. And we're 2 periods of hockey already done with. This Husky team's thriving.
Incredible. The linesman takes a puck up high. I think that was deflected off of something in front and directed right, looked like into the upper body somewhere of the linesman, who now heads off, it looks like, to go get some attentive services from the trainer here at the URC in Sheeny. And he will take a break to get looked at, and we will take a break. We'll be right back with you. Don't go away on KUGR. 4-3, 6:07 to go. Huskies in front. I'm Zach McFarlane. We are back, and I'm joined by Connor Simmons, and we just saw essentially a linesman get drilled in the face off a redirection of a puck, at least seemingly in the face. He is now off the ice getting attention from the trainer. There seemingly was some substance on the ice from him that they had to clear away. We just hope that he is okay and that there is no major damage. But it looks to be like they will run 3 officials for now. So 1 linesman and 2 in the orange stripes.
Well, that means both these teams will start maybe at least get 25% plus on getting away with more things, that because you just take away another official at that aspect. But going to that whole stoppage, that was about a 3-4 minute stoppage. That only helps Western Washington. They needed that. All the momentum was for the Huskies, and having a break hurts you a little bit. Western needed that. The coach had no more timeouts, like you brought up, about 2 minutes before that whole fiasco with the official. This only helps Western. They got maybe some plays ran, some confident booster, and Washington only lost some of it.
Head coach Siegel talking to his team very intensely during that break. And like you said, couldn't have helped really anyone but Western. They were the ones now back on the ropes. The Huskies had all the momentum, and now it's stunted a little bit. Of course, they could put one home right here and clear out all those rumors. But for now, 5:30 to go as time ticks down. Brett Brumbaugh in behind his own cage, looks to break it out for Chapman. Angles one back out to center. Needham spun it right back in a reverse play. James with speed carries this back up. Here comes Aaron James around Needham, and a shot right into the chest of Jonah Nash, who's got it and sprawls on top of it for a stoppage of play with 309 seconds to go.
Well, this place is split 50-50. On the left side of us, you have all the Husky fans. On the right side of us, you have all the Western fans. And the Western fans have been pretty quiet this third period. But, man, they were loud in those first 2 periods. This whole game's flipped upside down. But that was a great play by Aaron James, using his speed to get to the spot. Jonah Nash going to make a pretty good save.
You just got to wonder, that one whistled wide from Jacob James. Hunter Smith tried to keep that alive, could not. And now Jacob James tumbling down to the ice. Morris carries it back ahead, the defenseman. Spins it to Irwin, who tried to just relay that and couldn't do it. Loose puck comes to Lampman, spinning away from trouble. Got it over to Morris at the top of the circle, and a shot save made. The rebound is nowhere to be found. It's in the pads of Morena. He didn't quite know it, at least at first, but with 4:45 to go, a stoppage of play and a faceoff coming in the offensive zone for the Dogs.
Well, Nolan Morena getting that confidence back, but he can't score that goal. He can only make the saves at this point. 4 minutes and 45 seconds left in this third period. Huskies score 4 goals and take the lead after being down 3-0. And the linesman's back. We got back to 4.
The linesman comes back.
Some claps from the crowd.
And applause from the crowd, and even up here in the booth. The only time we will cheer up here in the booth
yeah, we can
is when
cheer.
the linesman comes back out onto the ice. Other than that, we just want a great game here to entertain every one of you at home watching this. Morena drops it off at the red line, and Secord just lifts that one all the way down. That one missed the skate of Morris, it looked like, and Nash puts his stick flat to the ice and sends that out for Williams. Williams angled that one off the high glass. Irwin now, Hunter Smith. Great play by Irwin. Got it to Lampman. Backhander, and it's off the skate of Hunter Smith. That could have been very bad for the Vikings. Irwin now at the near half wall, 4:11 to go. Send it down low for Wolf. Lampman, circle, shot, blocked down in front, and taking out with it now Secord. And he just shoved that one right into the mesh, and that doesn't do you any good with 4:01 to go. A faceoff coming back to the Viking zone, and you have to wonder, at what point does Morena get pulled if they need an extra attacker?
I would assume around the 2-minute range, but you have to be in the Husky zone for a good amount of time. But both of these teams are making such winning plays. Like Irwin just sprawled out on the ice to keep it going, almost led into the 5th goal of the game for them. But those are the games that get you to the championship right there.
This is where champions are made, in games like this on this stage in the semifinal. And again, a dynasty could be on the line here for the Huskies. The Vikings trying to do it for the first time. In below the goal line, Ferguson Spins away, got it in front. Andres, and the loose puck squirted out to Pearson. And ahead for Brett Brumbaugh, who is knifed away by Konopka and now stick battling for it right at the blue line. A three-man scrum. Andres putting his nose in the business there. And it's dropped back in. 3:16 to go in period 3. Maloney forces a turnover, walks back in, and a shot into the stomach of Morena, who stops play. 4-3 with 3:07 to go. Huskies one shot shy of 50.
Well, everyone in this arena right now, Zach's feeling a little antsy. Everyone's got ants in the pants right now, and no one can sit still, whether you're a Western fan or a Husky fan. This place is rocking. It's looking to be an exciting ending of this game.
Intended pass for Yang goes all the way down below the goal line. Being pressured, Jacob James shoving Maloney into the wall, and now turns into a four-man scrum. Slye boxing out McConnell. Now digging away at it. McConnell shoved it to the back. Musgrave reversed it all the way back around. Yang. And again, another four-man scrum. And Western come out with it, not quite, and now a loose puck comes to the stick of Pearson. Can't get it quite on his twig. And a bit of cheers from both sides there as no one knew who was going to grab possession. Yang shot right into the shin pad of Slye. 2:22 to go. Yang trying to come out with this puck, cannot. Slye really hurt badly here in front of the cage. He's got to get off the ice, and he's able to just get the pass ahead and looked for the stick of Pearson and can't find him with 2:06 to go. It's an icing against the Vikes, but Slye is badly hurt, and he's got to get off. And so the Vikings, I believe, will be able to sub here because of the injury. 2:06 to go, 4-3 Huskies.
I don't know if they allowed that in the NHL, but the injury was about 45 seconds ago. Next day, he kind of jumped, and I believe the shot hit his ankle, his left ankle. He was favoring that right leg right there. It was a pretty brutal shot, but you got to do that. Again, championship plays need to be made right now.
As the Vikings exit the zone, keep your eyes on Nolan Morena. Irwin took a collision up high there, got clipped a little bit. Hunter Smith grabs it off in his own zone, able to angle it out. Pearson. Morena deep in his crease still, 1:44 to go. Pearson comes around the cage, tried to float one through and couldn't do it. Irwin at the half wall, lifts it all the way back down and out. This will be an icing, and do we see Morena come off here?
I think you have to.
We don't. We don't see him come off just yet. Siegel not making the gesture to Morena with 1:35 to go. He stays in the crease.
I think they're starting to call him.
And they will open the door, you're right.
Oh, man. Moreno doesn't hear them. No, Moreno does not hear them.
They can't get him off. They can't get him off. They were yelling for him, and they can't get him off the ice. Not just yet. Angled off the high glass. Morena. Still, Sicorda shot blocked down by a Husky in front. Here they come. A counterattack. Wolf looking at options, drops it off to Lampman, directed in front, save made by Morena, and he hangs onto it right at the top of the crease with 1:16 to go. But the Vikings running out of time, and they are the ones getting hemmed into their own zone. The Huskies well on their way to prevailing to the championship.
Well, 30 seconds went off the clock, but going back to the face-off when it was the icing call against Cameron Irwin, the coaching staff, all the players were yelling at Nolan Morena, come off, come off. He couldn't hear them. He didn't even look at the bench. That could be brutal because that extra 20 seconds with a six-man could win or lose you this game. We'll see how it faces off now.
That could have been huge for them, and you've got the top line out, of course, for your team for what could be the very final minute of this historic season for Western. Puck squirts out. Fan. They'll take it and dump it back in. Morena still deep in the paint again. 54 seconds now, under a minute to go. Ferguson, Brett Brumbaugh takes it away, tried to float it through the slot, couldn't do it. The puck is angled out off the boards. Now they're holding Morena. The coaches looking to gesture him, and they're calling for him. There he goes. He's gone to the bench. 6 attackers. Desperation time for the Vikings. Brumbaugh can't get it to go. Loose puck comes out. There's Travis in the slot. He whistled it wide. Unbelievable. Needham can't keep it alive. I beg your pardon. That was Hunter Smith. 24 seconds to go. Secord, and again, maybe a final rush here. Secord gives it away. Wolf stripped him. Over to Maloney. Score!
Zach, the Huskies have done it. They have made the improbable comeback down 3 goals and have scored 5 and are going to the championship. We're gonna have a rematch of last year. They're looking for a back-to-back, and the Huskies deserve it. 16 seconds left in this third period. That empty net goal quite literally shuts the door on the Vikings. Incredible comeback. The scriptwriter went crazy. He's writing with a fire pen, Zach.
The Huskies will dump it back in. 10 seconds to go off the empty net. Loose puck comes to Wolf. Time ticks off, 2 seconds, then 1. Purple Rain is back. They're going back to the championship for the 3rd time in 4 years. And a historic comeback from down 3-0. They get 5 unanswered. And on the other end of the ice, heartbreak. And you have to feel for the Western Vikings, who couldn't feel more defeated right now. 5 goals let up in the 3rd period after a 3-0 lead. And a historic season for them. First time winning a playoff game. And what a turnaround for this program. But they fall short of the Pac-8 championship, losing to the defending champion Washington Huskies.
You do have to feel for them, Zach, especially the man, Noah Morena. I would still say he might even still be the first star. He had an assist as a goaltender and had made 47 saves. As Purple Rain and Primps is raining down here in Eastern Washington, Cheney. Just you do feel for Western. They had it, not in the bag. 20 minutes of hockey, still quite a bit. You have to lock in for still, no matter where it is, against these Washington Huskies. But man, it was right there in the grasp. They could see the finish line, but Slow and Steady wins the race. And the Huskies are moving on. It's gonna be a championship game, and there's a lot of tears being shed right now for the Vikings.
You gotta mention the seniors on this team. This was it, their last opportunity to win a championship. And maybe they thought this was the year. Again, a turnaround for the program. One of the bottom 4 teams and unable to get it done. Morena heads off, just in despair. And the Huskies are going back to the championship game. The veteran experience gets the better of Coach Pearson, who now hugs it out with head coach Matt Cleaton. But we, as broadcasters, of course, couldn't have asked for a better day of hockey. Both games coming down to the wire in an absolute incredible battle. And the Vikings, you know, they'll probably be back.
Well, no doubt about it. The Vikings are everybody, and they had the best offseason, adding a whole bunch of rookies and adding a whole bunch of guys from the transfer portal. They had the best class, I guess you could say, of this offseason, but the Huskies did it. They were the better team today, technically. They truly were. Maybe not for 2 periods, but they had an incredible 3rd period, and that's all they needed to win this game. They're going back to the championship, and like you said, 2 amazing games for broadcasters. Can't make them up. Quite literally came down to empty net goals, or another 2 goals. I'm speechless. Just an overall great day for obviously Smith Slye, Connor Simmons, and you, Zach McFarlane. I'm excited for the championship tomorrow. We are in store for, if it looked anything like today, one of the greatest championships of all time.
No doubt about it. And it will be no upset as far as seeding goes. And that has continued throughout. And unless Washington can repeat what happened last year against Cal, there will still be no upsets. And you bet Cal wants a vengeance. They want to enact their revenge against this Husky team. Number 1 versus number 2. The 2 best will go at it all for all the glory. Cal undefeated last season, have to mention it. Huskies beat them in the final to give them their first loss and win the Pac-8 championship on this very ice. And this time 13-1 in conference play. Cal will host the Huskies tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. on this very ice to settle last year's score. And you just got to wonder how that game's going to go. But I'll tell you what, no matter what, I don't think it's a blowout either way. This should be an absolute cinematic masterpiece tomorrow morning.
Well, today had everything There's no way I can be shocked tomorrow, right, Zach? You would think, but this championship game, it seems like it's going to have a little bit of everything. It's going to do whatever you really want it to do. Cal has had a great playoffs. They've scored 14 goals in a game. Then they've scored 20 goals in 2 games. And then the Huskies on the other side haven't been looking like they had in the regular season, but they're finding ways to win and probably made one of the craziest comebacks you're going to see in the Pac-8 playoffs ever.
Western, if you're just joining us for any reason, Western a 3-0 lead at the start of the third period. The Huskies 5 unanswered in the final 20 minutes of regulation. This game's come to an end. Huskies moving on to the Pac-8 championship to play the California Berkeley Golden Bears. And as the fans head out, the players have left the ice. We will say so long to you as well. Thank you for joining us. I'm Zach McFarlane, joined by Connor Simmons and, of course, Smith Slye behind the camera. He's been incredible for us this evening. And we say so long from Cheney. We will see you tomorrow on KUGR. Please subscribe if you like what you're seeing and support this channel. Again, thank you for joining us. Come back tomorrow for one final championship game. We'll see you then.